time to take the session. All right. So thanks a lot for that. All right. So in just one word, I would like to know how your weekend has been. I know it's just Saturday. So how was your Saturday? Did you have a good time? If it was restful, just put restful. If it was boring, put boring. If it was exciting, all right. Or if you had a party, put party in there. Just use the chat. Let's use the chat to have a conversation for this particular session. All right. So stressful, restful party. Oh, I miss a decent party right now. I was like excited. That's amazing. My weekend was busy. Oh, interesting. Football. Okay, that's good. Eventful. And bear in mind also we have UFC today. So I guess that's another very exciting part. So I think it's exciting for me also. Family, stressful, eventful. Everybody's a mix of everything. I won't lie to you. But everything in all things, it's always unique. Do you understand? So family bonding, being all indoors all day, stressful, restful, or need more these days. Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. But anyways, yeah. This is going to be the session. If you've had a boring day, this is going to add a little bit of spice. If you've had a very stressful day, this is going to add a little bit of relaxation. If you've had a very eventful day, this is also going to add to the events you've had for the week, for the day. All right. All right. So awesome. So we're going to be looking at a very interesting topic without wasting too much of our time today. We're going to be looking at data analyst, data scientist, and data engineer, the key differences between these roles, and which is the right career path for you. All right. Which is the right career path for you? Just to digress a little bit, when I started, when I was looking to getting started in the tech space, okay? Obviously, there are a lot of roles in the tech space. It's not just, data analyst, data scientist, and data engineer. All right. So there were certain things I considered before getting into those roles, into the role I am in at the moment. Okay. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. All right. There are certain things you need to look at, okay, in order for you to decide this is the career path that suits me the best. And that's what we're talking about today. Okay. All right. So I would like to know where you guys are joining in from. Okay. So if you're joining in for the first time, please put a one in the chat. I would like to know where you guys are joining in from. Okay. I would like to know where you're joining from, first of all. So if you're in Nigeria, if you're in Canada, you're in the US, you are in the UK, I would like to know where you guys are joining in from. So I have Nigeria, Lagos. We have Canada, we have Nigeria, new person, and also in Nigeria. Okay, awesome. Nigeria, UK, Liverpool. All right, that's good. Good to have you guys. Good to have you here. Quite a number of people in Nigeria on the call at the moment. Okay, Nigeria. It's good to have you guys on board, to be honest with you. It's good to have you guys on board, okay? So today's session is going to be a very interactive one, and I want you guys to interact with me, okay? So please, there's nothing like a stupid question. There's nothing like I'm shy. Okay, please, it's a virtual session. Nobody knows where you're joining from. Please, we know where some of you are joining from, but you are free to ask your questions. Okay, feel free to ask questions. It's a master class. Nobody paid for this session. So if you want to ask questions, please do well to ask your questions. Okay, all right. Now moving on. Okay, so all I want to plead from the start of the session is please just give me 2 hours of your time. 2 hours maximum. 2 hours of your time today is all I'm requesting for. All right. So we're not doing anything too technical. Okay, we're not doing anything too technical. We're not building a dashboard. We are just going to be having a conversation. Okay, and this is this topic that we selected for this masterclass is something that it's a very prevailing question in the sense that there is no time we've had a session where people would ask, what's the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist? What's the difference between a data scientist and a data engineer? Can a data engineer do the job of a data scientist? Can a data scientist do the work of a data analyst? Can a data analyst do the work of a data scientist and a data engineer? Is it possible? So now, based off those problems, based on those questions that we get almost every other day that we get of our life, we decided to hold this masterclass to talk extensively about the key differences between these three roles and which one would be the right career for you. All right. So if you're excited about the session, please put a one in the chat. I would like to see the people that are excited about the session. Put a one in the chat if you are excited to be in the session. Fantastic. Let's go. Let's go. I'll say it in Portuguese. Chama. So if you guys watch UFC, you have gotten over the week. Chama means let's go in Portuguese. Okay, let's go. All right. So for the newcomers in the house, okay, I'll do a little bit of, introduction. What is Analytics? Who are we at Analytics? Analytics is an educational technology firm with the sole mandate, with the sole vision and mission to help more Africans get into the tech space. It's as simple as that. It's as straightforward as that. We are a platform designed, okay, to help more Africans get into the tech space. So if you're an African in Africa, so you're currently in Nigeria, you're in Kenya, you're in Tanzania, Botswana, South Africa, and you're looking to get into the tech space, this is the platform to be on. If you are an African in the diaspora, you are an African in Canada, you're an African in the US, in the UK, in Poland, in Germany, in France, in whatever country of the world where you are, okay? The key thing is, if you're looking to get into the tech space, we will help you achieve that. So that's basically what we're doing. That's the old, the whole background to what STEM analytics is all about. Okay, so we offer a bouquet of training programs. Okay, cutting across data analytics, data science, data engineering, and so many other ones. Okay, but our focus for today is data analytics, data science, and data engineering. All right, and who is this person speaking with you today? My name is Ifemena Ipro, and I am the co-founder of Tenalytics. All right. Along the line, along the side, I also work as a data science contractor, and I've been doing this for the past 3+ years now. Okay, working as a contractor. Now, a contractor, what does a contractor do? Essentially, a contractor basically work short term, medium term with different organizations. So these organizations I work with at the moment cut across companies in the UK, companies in the US, and also recently companies in Canada. All right. So what do I do with them? So I basically deploy data science initiatives. So organizations that are looking to upskill themselves, or not upskill, sorry, rather organizations that are looking to deploy new data science initiatives. Take for example, you want to build a predictive analytics capacity within the organization. They want to build certain data science initiative within the organization. I deploy those things for these companies. So that's what I do at the moment. Prior to that, I've worked as a business systems analyst. I've worked as a data scientist. I've worked as a data analyst. I've worked as a data engineer. All right. So I've worked across different roles within the ecosystem, within the data ecosystem. All right. And that's basically my experience. I love data. I won't say I would say I'm obsessed with data. So anything data, I'm absolutely interested in it. Hence the reason why I've pushed myself to learning new skills across those three areas: data analytics, data science, and data engineering. And also I've been fortunate to work across those three roles. And also, I've worked in those three roles across different companies across the world: logistics, to healthcare, to automobile, to telecommunication, to healthcare, and so on and so forth. All right. But one key interesting fact is I did not have a degree in any computer science related degree. So a lot of people are looking to getting started, feel the need to learn, go and study computer science. Okay, or they feel they are at disadvantage because they don't have a degree in computer science or any other technical skill or any other technical computer related degree, whatever it is. Okay. Well, I did economics in university. All right. My first job was as a management consultant. Okay. So working as a management consultant, I saw the need for me to transition. Okay. I saw the future prospects. Okay. As to, okay, what would I achieve in the next 3 years, 5 years in a career? All right. And I saw that the tech space was what I wanted to get into. And that's how I started building myself in the tech space. And it took me about 2 years to get my first role in the tech space. It took me about 2 years to get my first role in the tech space. And I was able to achieve that, okay? But the key question we kept asking ourselves was, should it have taken us 2 years? All right? Should it have taken us 2 years to get that first role in the tech space? So essentially, that's what we're going to be discussing today. How can you also get started in all these roles, okay? How did I move from management consulting to working in data analytics, data science, data engineering capacity? All right, how am I able to achieve that? We'll discuss all that in today's session. All right, so that's basically myself. And we're going to be going through 5 things in today's session. We're going to be going through 5 things in today's session. Number one is we're going to be talking about a real life experience that differentiates the role of a data analyst, a data scientist, and a data engineer. Now, the best way for you to understand the key differences between these 3 roles is looking at a real life example, looking at a real life experience, and then with this experience, we're going to, tailor what the role of a data analyst is in this particular experience, what the role of a data scientist is, and what the role of a data engineer would be in that particular scenario. Okay. Also, we'll be exploring the pathway to becoming a data analyst, a data scientist, and a data engineer, and thereafter securing a job. So the thing about you learning data analytics at the moment, or learning data engineering, or learning data science, it's not just for you to learn. It's not for the fun of it. I'm pretty sure the majority of you are looking to learn these skills in order for you to earn more, change career, make a difference, whatever the case might be. But the key thing is you want something to happen. All right. Okay. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about. Number three, we would also be exploring remote and tech relocation opportunities for tech professionals. Okay, we'll be exploring remote, full-time, and tech relocation opportunities for tech professionals like yourself. Okay, and lastly, we'll talk about the Data Analytics Growth Internship Program. Now, this particular program has helped a ton of our people, secure their first role in the tech space. We'll all talk about this, okay? We'll talk about this. And lastly, our special offer for you. We have a special offer for you. So if you wait to the end of the session, you will get all the materials we used for this session, including the recording. Plus, you also get to hear about the special offer we have for you. All right. So these are the 5 things that we're going to go through today. Okay. Real life experience to differentiate the role of a data analyst, data scientist, and a data engineer. We'll also explore the pathway to becoming any of these career paths, of you choosing a career path and securing a job, remote and relocation opportunities for tech professionals. We'll talk about the growth internship program that has helped a ton of our people land their dream job in the tech space. And last but not the least, we have a special offer for people that wait to the end of the session. Okay. So yeah, that's basically what we have in plan for today's session. Okay. So if you're excited about this, okay, if you're excited to be here, if you're excited to go through all this, okay, I will tell you that this session is just going to take about 2 hours. So if you can give me 2 hours of your time, you are going to learn, remarkable things today in today's session. You're going to learn things that probably will have taken you a couple of weeks, couple of months to learn. It's likely going to take you just about 2 hours. So just give me 2 hours. All right, 2 hours of your time today is all I'm asking for. I'm pleading for 2 hours is all I'm asking for. All right, and that's what we were exploring today in today's session. Now let's start. Let's start with knowing exactly where you are at this point in time. Let's know where you are, where your interests lie at this point in time. Okay. So which of these tech roles are you interested in? Okay. Which of these tech roles are you interested in? Now put it in the charts. Let's see. All right. Which of these tech roles are you interested in? Okay. Put it in the chat. Let's see. Okay. Which of these tech roles are you interested in? So I have a lot of data. All right. Data analyst, we have a data scientist, data engineering, data analyst, quite a number of data analysts and data scientists. A few data engineers in the house. Okay, fantastic, 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 fantastic. I wouldn't know yet. No problem. That's why we're here. Okay. We'll talk about that extensively. Okay. All right. Data analyst, data scientist, data engineer. Okay, data engineer. Okay, data engineers are coming up now. Okay, data analyst, data scientist. So we have a very good mix of people in class looking to become data analysts, looking to become data scientist, and looking to become data engineer. All right. One thing you need to know at the back of your mind is learning a skill, okay? Learning a skill in this capacity, a tech skill, for example, data analytics, data science, and data engineering will set you up for life. And that's something that has really helped me. And I'm gonna explain all that to you. Okay, I'm gonna explain it. It's not just getting a job, it's also you working contracts, it's also you building a business around the skills that you have. And I'll explain all this to you today. All right. So, which of these tech roles are you interested in? Some of you have said data analyst, some of you said data scientist, some of you say data engineering. But now the key thing is a lot of you are looking to get it started, and a lot of you will be scared of getting started. A lot of you will be nervous, okay, of taking that first step. The key thing is you taking that first step. That's the most challenging part about anything you try to do. Starting a business, learning a new skill, in which we're talking about today, all right, or even meeting the person that you want to be with, whatever the case might be. You just starting that thing could be very challenging. But one thing I like to say always is it always seems impossible until it is done. It always seems impossible until it is done. All right. So the difference between some of these guys that you see here, okay, so we have Twain, we have Benga, we have Michael, and we have Shadi Shadi. All right. These guys went through analytics. The key difference between people on the call at the moment or people that have attended our previous master classes, the difference between them, these guys you see on the screen, and those people is the fact that these guys decided to start. It's the key. That's the only difference. Okay. And you'll see it as a recurring decimal in the sense that um, every one of them attended a free masterclass, just the way you attended a free masterclass at this point in time. But they decided to, let me try out analytics. Let's take that first step with the analytics. All right. So I'm going to play some of these testimonials for you before we start, just as just to show you that if you decide to make that decision today, all right, you are going to be fine. You're going to be in the right place and provide you with the support that you need. I'm going to just play about two of them. All right, one or two of them. If I don't want to take too much of your time. Like I said, I only have 2 hours to be with you today. 2 hours is all I'm taking. All right. So I'm going to start with Tony first of all. I'm going to start with Tony. So the link is made available.
Hello everyone,
So
my
you
name
would
is
have,
Doing and
all right. So sorry, the link is going to be made available. The links are on the material, so you'll get access to these materials and everything. Okay.
hello everyone, my name is Doing and I recently got a job as a benefits analyst in the UK. I've come from a medical background as a pharmacist who is interested in, breaking into tech. My first encounter with analytics was on LinkedIn. I joined one of their masterclass, just one masterclass where a femina spoke, and it just took that masterclass to convince me. I joined in August, and a month after, I got a job. To be honest with you, every information skill that I was able to apply to get that job, I owe it to Tenalytics. Tenalytics did a great job and is still doing a great job. They groom you and nurture you
Hello everyone, my name is Olaguju Benga. I want to share the testimony of how I was able to secure a very good job by the help of Analytics. I was searching for a job for almost 2 years. I came across Analytics on Instagram. I sent a DM and they were helpful. I enrolled in the Data Analytics course and it was awesome. I learned a lot about Excel, data analytics, Tableau, how to organize data and also to draw insights from data, how to build a dashboard and also to write a report, conclusions of data. So I must say, Analytics is the right place to learn how to be a data scientist, how to be a data analyst, how to be an HR analyst, and so on like that. They are always around. They have the best hands to take care of your needs when it comes to data. So I enrolled in the course, and even during the course, I started applying for jobs and I started getting interview calls, and they were also available to explain and also give me preparation questions on how to approach these interviews and also to pass them. I was able to secure and even get about 4 offers after all my interview sessions. So I must say that the analytics have been really been a great help to me, and I was able to secure a job of my dreams, literally. Thank you. Refer people, tell your friends about them, enroll today, and
Hi, Femina, you're muted. Hi, Femina, you're muted.
All right, so sorry about that. I thought I was actually I'd spoken for long already. Okay. All right. The reason why the reason why I'm starting with the success stories, first of all, is very simple. A lot of people are looking to getting started, okay, but they they need a push. They need a reason to get started. Okay. And this is the reason, and like I mentioned earlier, the reason why I needed to do this before the main session is very simple. So people want to become data analysts, data scientists, data engineers. They feel like this thing is too technical. It is too, it's all over beyond their heads. Everybody, there's something we call analysis paralysis, where you analyze situations, and people put so much weight on these things because it's tech. Okay, you must be very smart in order for you to get it. Well, these guys, you can see that Tony landed a job just a month into the training program. Wenger also the same thing, was able to land 4 offers, and is based in Poland, and was able to, been unemployed for about 2 years, went through the training program, got 4 offers, secured the one they wanted, and now you said, he got the dream the job of his dreams. Do you understand? So those are the things that you need to have at the back of your mind. The key difference between you and these guys is the fact that they made that initial step to make that investment in themselves, and now they're getting the benefit of it. So that's exactly why when I needed to show that, so that I hope you guys to have motivated some of you guys today. Okay, so now let's talk about the essence of why we're here, the difference between the data analyst, the data scientist, and the data engineer. What's the difference between these three key roles? And I'm going to be using a very interesting experience of mine, okay, just a couple of years ago, okay, earlier on in my career, but I'm going to be explaining it based off this, okay. Now, this case study or this scenario was based on fraud detection and prevention for a fintech company. Okay, fraud detection and prevention for a fintech company. Now, if your majority of us are in Nigeria at the moment, okay, we have all one way or the other been either you have heard of somebody or you know of somebody or it has happened to you personally. We have all been through some kind of fraud situation before where you've been defrauded, either by an online platform or by another means of somebody stole your card, your ATM card, and was able to withdraw all the money and all that. So how do you build a system within an organization that will be able to detect fraudulent transaction? Okay, how do you build a system within a fintech company or a bank, for example, to be able to detect when something is fraudulent? Okay, when something is fraudulent, essentially. So these are the things that we, a typical data team would work on. Okay. So the name of this organization is Secure Pay. Obviously, the name of the business, has I've already adjusted the name of the business. All right. The name of the business is Secure Pay. It's a fintech company based in Dublin, Ireland. Okay. And they have noticed an uptick in fraudulent transaction in recent months. So with this organization, we noticed that all of a sudden there were a lot of customer complaints that people were using, people were targeting them first of all, okay, and it was easy for them to withdraw the money out of the account, okay. So ATM was stolen and transaction will be done on the website, either on the website and money is drawn out of it, or fraudulent transaction, ATM card frauds and all that, ATM frauds and all that. There's quite a number of fraud situations that kept, there was an uptick, meaning that there was an increase in what fraudulent transactions on the platform. Okay. So SecurePay, obviously, being a fintech platform, when there is a question around security, it becomes difficult for them to get new customers. So if everybody's complaining that, oh, secure pay, if you use secure pay, you are likely going to be scammed, okay? Or if you use an account with secure pay, it's easy for your money to be stolen, okay? That causes a reputational issue, okay? So this particular business obviously saw that if they continue at this pace, all right, it might lead to them losing a lot of customers, losing a lot of investments and so on. So the CEO was concerned. Obviously, any CEO or any business owner would be concerned. I was like, do you know what? We need to look for how to build a robust system that would be able to detect fraudulent transaction. Okay? To be able to detect fraudulent transactions. So in order for them to do this, they needed what we call the data team. The data team, okay? The data analyst, which comprises of the data analyst, the data scientist, and the data engineer. All right. So the CEO called on this data team to say that, help me, not help, help me. Even though this is an Irishman, okay, was able to say, me, okay, help my business, okay. We don't want to crash. We don't want to have reputational issues. We don't want to see this. We won't be able to build a system that will be able to detect fraudulent transactions. And that's the goal of the business. That's the goal of the project. So this is a project. When they talk about, oh, I'm currently working on a project in an organization, this is an example of a project. Okay. So they've noticed fraudulent transaction. The CEO has notified the data team, build a robust solution that would be able to detect fraudulent transaction. Okay. So now the data team will go forward and start to look for, how to build this robust system. Now, the first person we're going to talk about, okay, the first person we're going to talk about is the role of the data engineer. Okay, is the role of the data engineer. And now, the role of the data engineer is very simple. The role of the data engineer is the background, is what you're going to be building on, is what the data analyst and the data scientist would start to build on. It's like you building a house, okay? So when you want to build a house, what's the first thing you do when you want to build a house? Drop it in the comment. Let me see. What's the first thing you do when you want to build your house? What's the first thing you do? All right. You want to build a house today. Okay. Foundation. Thank you very much. You need a foundation. You need a structure. You need a plan. Okay. That's good. I love that. I love the answers you're getting. All right. So the structure, the foundation, the plan, the blueprint, whatever you want to call it, you need a structure, you need a plan, you need a infrastructure, you need a architecture, call it whatever you call it. Okay. The data engineer is that professional that provides that foundation. Okay. It provides that foundation. Okay. So in order for the data team, in order for these guys to be able to do their work, they need data. Okay. So I'm going to get my pen out. Okay. Just give me a second. I'm going to look for my pen. I have my pen here somewhere. Okay. All right. So in order for these two guys to do their work, in order for this data analyst to be able to do their work, they need data. Okay. In order for the data scientists to do their work, they also need data. Okay. So that's the common denominator between the two of them. These guys need data to do their work. But now the key question is, where is this data coming from? Where is the data coming from? Okay. Where is it coming from? Okay. So where is this data coming from? These guys need data. They need data to work. They need data to work. Okay. But now the key question is, where is this data coming from? Where do they get the data from? That's where the foundation, that's what we call the foundation, or what you guys call the foundation. All right. That's where the data engineer plays in. That's the role in which the data engineer comes to shine. Okay. So now let's move on. Okay. Okay. Now, the data engineer primary responsibility is setting up and maintaining the data infrastructure necessary for fraud detection. Okay. Now let's take a look at a typical infrastructure in the sense that in this organization, they have a mobile app. Okay, we are all familiar that we can use our mobile app to send money, to receive money, meaning that the moment you can use the mobile app to be able to send and receive money, you are what? Liable to, to get defrauded. Okay, you can get defrauded using the mobile app. Okay, so somebody can steal your PIN, somebody can steal or somebody can be able to hack your phone and be able to steal your money. Take for example, a couple of years ago in Nigeria, all right, going on the road, stopped by the SARS officials, and I was asked to bring out my phone. They bring out your app. They were able to just type money into the app, and they was able to extract, send money from the mobile app. So all those are fraudulent transactions. It's not by my own will. Okay. So how should this particular organization know that this is an anomaly? All right. How do we detect this as fraud? Okay. So that's using the mobile app. Also, the same thing with web app. It's the same thing. Fraud can be perpetrated using the web application. Same thing with ATM. They steal your ATM card today. All right. They don't even know your PIN. They can find a way to hack your PIN and get your money out of the ATM, out of your ATM card. Okay. Now, the last but not the least is POS, point of sales. Okay. So all the point of sales in Nigeria now is a big deal. Even across the world, literally, you can just tap your card and you go. All right. Tap your card, go. Tap your card and go. All right. So, fraudsters can also take that as an advantage of, siphoning your money out of your account. Now, you'll notice that one thing you need to know is that the mobile app transactions done on the mobile app are all saved in a data source, in a mobile database. Okay, so mobile application. So take for example your GT app, your Zenith Bank app, or whatever app you're using. When you're sending money and you're receiving money via the mobile app, that data, that all those transactions are stored in what we call the mobile app database. It's stored in a central location. It's stored in a central device, in a central database. Okay. Web application, when you send money and you receive money, or you send money, you do transaction over the web. All right. You log into the web on your laptop or your mobile phone or whatever the case might be, and you're transacting over the internet using the web application. All that transaction is also stored on a web app database. Okay. ATM transactions also, when you go to the ATM, you put in your card, you withdraw your money, you send money, you pay for your bills and all that. All these transactions are also stored in the ATM database. Last but not the least, POS, the same thing. So these are different systems. The mobile app system is different from the web application system. The web application system is different from the ATM system. The ATM system is different from POS. So you see, in the real sense, you have four different applications in here. Okay? You have four different applications. So you have the first one here, you have the second one, you have the third one, and you have the fourth one. And the interesting thing about this is these are different systems, meaning that the data that you have here, whatever data that you have here, okay, does not talk to the data that you have here. So these are two different systems. It's just like your mobile phone, okay? Your mobile phone, yourself, and let's say a friend of yours, okay? person A and person B. Person A stores information, takes pictures on their phone. It is stored on that phone. Okay? All right. Person B also takes another set of pictures. Those pictures are saved on the person B's phone. So person A obviously has data or pictures on their phone. Person B has their own pictures on their own phone. So there are two different applications, two different systems. Okay. All right. Now, the same thing also, the data on the web doesn't talk to the data in the ATM. Okay. Also, the data in the ATM also doesn't talk to the data in this particular place in the POS. So when they say everything is siloed, okay, data is currently in silo in the sense that all the systems keep their own data independently. So mobile app stores their own data, web app stores its own data, ATM stores its own data, POS stores its own data. But now, fraudulent transactions, okay, fraud, okay, all right, can happen on any of these four applications. It could happen anywhere, any of these four places. Okay, fraud could happen on all four of them. Okay, all right. Somebody could steal your card and use it on the mobile app. Somebody could steal your card, use it on the web app, use it on ATM, use it in POS. So we need to be able to track across all the four platforms at the same time. So if you want to detect fraud, you cannot be doing them in silo. You can't be doing, oh, let's look at mobile app first, then we look at web app, then you look at ATM, then you look at POS. Because, these fraudulent transactions can happen on any of these four at the same time. All right. It's very possible for them to, perpetrate this fraud almost at equivalent times. Okay. So you see, the key thing is not to having this data in silo. Okay. So currently the data is in silo, okay, meaning that the mobile app database is on its own. It's not talking to any other system. Web application, it's on its own. It doesn't talk to any other system. ATM database is on its own. POS database is on its own. So now the role of the data engineer is very simple. All right. The role of the data engineer is very simple in the sense that we need all this data in a data warehouse. Okay. We need all the data from the mobile app, from the web app, from the ATM database and the POS database. We need all this data in a central location, in a what we call a central location. Okay. And that's what we refer to as centralized or central location. Okay, in a central location. We need all this data in a central location. The task, don't forget our task. Our task today is to be able to build a system that will detect fraudulent transaction. Okay, so transactions can happen on any of these four platforms. So we need to get all the data from all the four platforms into a central location, which is what we call the data warehouse. Okay, data warehouse. So that will lead me to the next part of the conversation. So that's what the data engineer does. So the data scientists and the data analysts, they need data to work. Okay. Now you see that the data engineer at the moment is doing the foundational work of providing that data to the data analyst and the data scientist. We'll talk about that anyways. But now, in order for the data engineer to move data from each of the database into the data warehouse, they would need to do what we call they'll need to build pipelines, they will need to build ETL pipelines. Okay, they'll need to build pipelines. Okay, so the data currently is in the mobile app database. We want to move it from here and want to put it inside the data warehouse. So what does ETL stands for? Can anybody try what ETL stands for? It is an acronym. It means something, all right, in the data world. Okay, what does ETL stand for? What does it mean when we mean by ETL? What does it stand for? Can anybody try? Put it in the chat. ETL. Okay, extract, transform, and load. You guys are too much. I won't lie to you. I think you guys are absolutely too much. So the E stands for extract. Okay, all right, extract. T stands for transform. to transform something. I'll talk about it, don't worry. And L stands for load. Okay, load. Okay, all right. So the data currently, okay, like I said, just to reiterate, because we have a lot of people, new people are joining the call at the moment. So we're trying to build a system that will be able to detect fraud detection. Okay, detection for a fintech company, fraud detection for a fintech company. Okay, we want to build a system that will be able to detect fraud for a fintech company. Now, in order for us to do that, the data engineer would need to get the data from all four of these locations. Okay, from all four of these locations, from the mobile app, from the web app, from ATM, from POS, and find a way to extract, transform, and load the data into a central location, okay, into a central location. So extract basically means to extract, okay, to move, to take something out of somewhere, okay, to take something out of somewhere. So the data currently exists in the mobile app database. Currently, the data exists in the mobile app database. So the first thing you need to do is to extract the data. Okay. So once you extract the data, you see the data will start to flow. And let's go to T, what you call transform. Now, the data engineer would also need to transform the data, meaning when you say transform, you're trying to clean the data. You're trying to clean the data. You're trying to restructure. You're trying to restructure the data. All right. You're trying to clean, you have missing data. Take, for example, you have missing data. How do you deal with missing values? Okay. How do you deal with wrong data and all that? So that's what we call transformation. Okay. So take, for example, you want to cook today. You want to cook fried rice. Okay. All right. So when you want to cook fried rice, you know you need ingredients. Where are those ingredients? Okay. They're in the market somewhere. Okay. They're in the market. So what do? You go to the market to buy, to extract these ingredients that you need to prepare your food, your fried rice. Okay. So when you go to the market, you buy rice, you buy, what else would you need? You buy rice, you buy your vegetables, you buy all the things that you need, all right, and you bring it to the house. So that's the extraction phase. So this is like your market, okay? The data source is like your market, okay? It's like the market. Okay, that's where we call the data source. That's where it exists. That's where the data exists. That's where the ingredients exist. All right, but you don't need it in the market. You don't need that. You don't need the ingredient to be in the market. You need it to be in your house. Okay, to cook your food. Okay, so you go to the market to extract those ingredients. Okay, so it's the same thing with this also. All right. The data currently exists in the mobile app database. We don't need it there. All right. We need it in the data warehouse. Okay. So we go to the data mobile app database to extract the data. So when you buy ingredients, for example, you know that the ingredients would likely not be clean. It's definitely not good. Even if they wash it there, you always go home to wash it again. Okay. All right. It's the same thing with data. Even though the data might be structured or look clean, in the mobile app database, you also need to do your own extra level of transformation. All right, you still need to clean, you still need to restructure. Just the way you watch, you would have to get your rice, you wash your rice, you get your vegetables, you still have to wash your vegetables, all right, and so on and so forth. You need to clean it, remove the dirt, remove the sand, remove different particles, chemicals and all that. You need to remove all those things in order for you to use it to cook your food. Okay, that's the same way when you're extracting data from a database, you need to clean that data. You need to restructure the data. You need to, undo missing data, undo missing data and so on and so forth. All right. So when you move from transformation, once you clean this up, once you have the data clean and ready, you need to load it into the data warehouse. Load it inside. Okay. Load it into the data warehouse. So that's basically what we call ETL. So the data engineer, all right, is responsible for building what we call ETL pipelines. So the pipeline basically takes the data from the mobile app database and gets it into the data warehouse. The data engineer also would build an ETL pipeline that would get the data from the web application, transactions essentially, all right, and get it into the data warehouse. The same thing with the ATM database, ETL, extract, transform, and load the data into the data warehouse. Same thing with POS, extract, transform, and load the data into the data warehouse. So rather than working with four distinct systems, the data engineer has built a system that would harmonize the data in one central location. Okay? That would harmonize the data in one central location. If you understand what I'm saying so far, put a one in the chat. Let me see the people that are following me. So if you understand what we're saying so far, put a one in the chat. Okay, let's see. Let me see. All right, fantastic. I love this. This is the energy I'm looking for. Let's go, guys. All right, let's continue. I can see you guys are following me. All right, you guys are awesome. First of all, I need to tell you that you're awesome. You took out time on the Saturday to listen to me. I feel I'm blessed. I won't lie to you. So thank you very much for attending. Okay, let's continue the session. So this is what we call a typical infrastructure, a data infrastructure. Okay, all right. This is what we call a data architecture. Sorry, not infrastructure. In architecture. Okay, so we have the data source. So transactions on a day-to-day within the bank, okay? Transactions on a day-to-day within the fintech platform, all right, can either take place on the mobile app, okay? Can either take place on the mobile app, okay? Or transactions can also take place on the web app or the ATM or the POS platform. So application transactions can take place in any of these four places. This is what we call the data source. So that's where transactions are generated. Okay. So you can send money on your mobile app, you can receive money, all right. You could pay for your bills on the web app. On the ATM, you can also send money on the web or ATM, you can pay for bills. Same thing with POS. You go to a restaurant, all you need to do is tap your card and you're out. Do you understand? So basically, transactions happen on those four platforms. Now, the key thing, don't forget the reason why we are doing this. We want to detect fraudulent transaction. All right. We want to build a robust system that will detect fraudulent transactions. All right. So the data engineer, all right. So now looking at this here, okay, the data engineer will be the one to do the extract, transform, and load. Basically, extracting the data from the data sources into the data warehouse. All right. That's the role of the data engineer. Now you have your data in one central location. Okay, you have all your data in one central location, which is what we call the data warehouse. Okay, now the data analyst and the data scientist who would then connect to the data warehouse. So this is the data they were looking for. The data science, the data analyst, and the data scientist. Okay. Now this is the data that they're looking for. All right. These are all the transactional data. Okay. Transactional data. All the transactional data are stored in the data warehouse. So all the transactions that happen on the mobile app, on the web app, on the ATM, or the POS, everything is stored in the data warehouse. Okay. Then the data analyst would use it for analytics and reporting. All right, to build analytics and reporting. So when you see your dashboard, when you see a dashboard, when you see a report, that's built by the data analyst. We'll talk more about that. Don't worry. We'll talk about each one of them individually. All right. Now, for predictive analytics, the data analyst, data scientist, the data scientist would use the data in the data warehouse to perform what we call predictive analytics. Okay. Now, you see, the roles are very distinct and they are not even, yeah, they are very distinct in the sense that the data engineer is in charge of the architecture, the data architecture of the business, of how data flows within the organization. So data is in a mobile app to we get it into another system. That's the role of the data engineer. Okay, extract, transform, load the data into a data warehouse. It could be on Amazon Web Services, AWS. It could be on Azure. It could be on GCP. That's cloud platforms. Okay, it could be on on-premise systems also like SQL Server. Okay, like Postgres, PGAdmin, Postgres SQL. Okay, it could be on MySQL or anything. Okay, really, that's what we're going to be talking about in the next couple of minutes. Okay, so this is the architecture we're talking about, getting data from one location to the next location, all right? And what is being used by the data analyst and the data scientist. The data analyst will use it for analytics and reporting, and the data scientist would use it for, predictive analytics, all right? Now, let's take a look at the role of, let's take it extensively about the role of the data engineer, okay? The data engineer, okay? So what do you need to become a data engineer, okay? So all this building of architecture, building of moving data from one location to the other, what is required? So the training program that we've designed is going to go through these 10 locations, okay? All right, these 10, curriculum, okay? So we have introduction to data engineering. So as a beginner looking to getting started in data engineering, we start with the introduction, okay? We start with the introduction. What's a database? I'm very sure all of you on the call currently are looking and, you might understand what I'm talking about, but you will be asking yourself, what's the difference between a database and a data warehouse, okay? All right, that's what we start to talk about OLAP. That's online analytical processing and online transactional processing. You need to understand these fundamental basics, okay? All right, introduction to data engineering covers all the things, all the key concepts you need to understand about data engineering, all right? Now, the key technologies you need to learn, okay? The key technologies you need to learn is SQL and Python. These are the two key technologies you need to learn to become a data engineer, all right? To kick off, all right? SQL and Python, okay? So SQL is the language of database, okay? It's the language of a database, okay? While Python is, a programming language that allows you to interact, open source that allows you to perform several tasks as a data engineer. So SQL, all right, and Python, these are the two technologies or two programming languages you need to learn. Also, you also need to learn Linux for batch scripting, all right? You would also get to build custom ETL pipelines like I talked about earlier. So your role as a data engineer is building that infrastructure, moving data from one location to another location, from a source location to a destination location, okay? So you can move data from database, like I mentioned, okay? You can move data from APIs, okay? All right. And also, you would also learn what we call web scraping, okay? All right. You would also learn what we call web scraping, where you are getting data from the internet, from the web page, So take, for example, you work with a crypto company, okay? You want to start your own crypto trading, okay? How do you get the data from crypto prices and all that on a day-to-day basis? You could go to a crypto website, the likes of Coinbase, all right, and extract data from Coinbase websites, scrape the data from the internet, all right, from the web page, and use it within your own organization. So you learn how to do web scraping also, or it's part of the training program. So you learn SQL, you learn Python, you learn Linux, then you move into how to build custom ETL pipelines, extracting data from database, extracting data from APIs, extracting data from web pages, what we call web scraping. Also, you get to work with Apache Spark, okay? Apache Spark is for big data, okay? So we've all heard of big data, big data, big data. Apache Spark majorly is used for handling big data, okay? So you get to work with Apache Spark. You also get to work with Apache Airflow for pipeline automation, orchestration, and scheduling. Okay. All right. So you get to work with that. Also, you get to work with cloud engineering platform. Okay. You'd also get to work with Azure. Okay. All right. And GCP. Okay. So you get to work with projects in Azure and also in GCP. So you're getting that experience across three cloud platforms, AWS, Azure, and GCP. You would also get to work with version control using GitHub, okay? And last but not least, you get to work with AI tools like ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for what? for automation, for coding, for coding. Okay, so for you to program better, faster, and more efficiently. So basically, that's the key things you need to learn as a data engineer to become a data engineer. SQL, Python, you get to work with Linux, you get to work with ETL pipeline, Apache Spark, Apache Airflow. You learn cloud engineering in AWS, Azure, and GCP. You will also get to work with version control using GitHub. And last but not the least, ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot using AI for your programming. The learning curve, okay, the total learning month is for 5 months, okay? 3 months of learning and 2 months of internship. 2 months of internship. 3 months of learning and 2 months of internship. Okay, so that's basically the whole. So I can see somebody say, is the timing enough for the class? Okay, that's one question I saw in the chat. Okay, very interesting question. And we'll go through that. Okay, I'll show you a live class that is going on at the moment. Okay, and I'll show you how that is very much achievable. All right. The way we have structured our learning curve, our learning programs, it is 100% achievable. And we'll talk about that extensively. But basically, in order for you to learn data engineering and to get a job as a data engineer, it takes about 5 months, okay? 3 months of learning, 2 months of internship where you're getting your hands dirty, working on projects, okay? It's projects that will get you that role. I won't lie to you, okay? Now, for the live class, we have this session, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. Okay, so if you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, you are anywhere in Africa or even Europe, all right, the time for the data engineering class is between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. Also, for the guys, it's the same time also for the guys in Canada, the US, that is 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturdays. Now, on Sunday, we have what we call the Watch Me Do It videos, okay? The Watch Me Do It videos. So the key question we're trying to do here is, how do we get fast learners and slow learners in the same class at the same time to ensure that they are learning at the same pace? So essentially, on Sunday, we have the Watch Me Do It videos, which are bite-sized videos, which allows you to learn at your own pace, work on projects at your own pace, okay? So rather than being in a live class, doing taking 3 hours to do that, we would be having a self-paced session whereby you can move and learn and practice at your own pace. I'm going to show you the classroom to explain it a lot better, okay? And you get to see the effect of having the live class and having the self-paced aspect where you can also learn at your own pace, okay? So basically, that's data engineering, okay? So that's what you need to learn in order for you to become a data engineer. And just to reiterate the role of the data engineer, the role of the data engineer is to build that infrastructure, all right? To build the data infrastructure, to move data from one location to another location. It's more than that, but basically that provides you with the base of what the role of data engineering is all about. Okay? Any question? If you have any question, just put it in the chat. I'll be happy to take on from there. But now, what other roles? A lot of people feel like, oh, if I learn data engineering, what are the opportunities for me in the tech space? So when you learn data engineering, you can obviously work as a data engineer. Okay. All right. You could also work as a big data engineer. Okay. You could also work as a data architect, a cloud data engineer. You could work as a ETL developer. We talked about ETL earlier. You could also work as a BI developer. You could work as an analytics engineer and also a database administrator. So these are roles that you could actually take on once you complete the training program. These and more. There are other roles that you could always definitely apply to once you complete the training program. But basically, these are like the top 8 roles you could actually apply to when you complete the training program. So from data engineering to analytics engineering to cloud engineering to BI developer, big data engineer, data architect, you can do this and more roles within the data ecosystem. So these are the opportunities that are waiting for you once you go through the data engineering training program. All right. Now, let's go into the data analyst. All right. Now, the data engineer has done what? Has moved the data from those locations, the data sources, and has made the data available in a data warehouse. Okay. So now the data is in the data warehouse. And the data analyst. Now, what is the role? What will the data analyst use the data for? Okay, what will the data analyst use the data for? Okay, the data, when you're talking about analytics in general, okay, when you're talking about analytics, okay, we have descriptive analytics, which is what we have here, and we have diagnostic analytics. In the real sense, we have four, but the data analyst will only work on two of these four. Okay, I will explain the four later. Okay, so the data analyst is only focused on two types of analytics, which is descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Okay, so the data analyst will work on descriptive and diagnostic analytics. Now, what is descriptive and what is diagnostic? Now, descriptive is talking about what happened, kilo shelly. Do you understand? In the organization. Now, the fraud, we're talking about fraud this time around. This organization has seen an uptick in fraudulent transaction on their platform, and they're scared to say that something is wrong. All right, something is wrong in this, something's wrong in the organization. Why are we getting, what's the rate of fraud happening within the organization, within the company? So descriptive analytics is basically going to use data to answer this critical question: what happened? So basically, the CEO would like to see the trend of fraudulent transaction in the last 6 months. So in the last 6 months, okay, in the last 6 months, let's say January, February, March, April, May, and June. Let's just say in the last 6 months, what's the rate of fraud on our platform? Okay. So we can see maybe in January it was around here, February we did around here, March we did around, it reduced a little bit, April, it increased in April, March, it decreased, every June, and so on. So basically, it's going like this. All right, it's going like this. So basically, you can see now that, all right, in January, fraudulent transaction, let's say it was about 300. In February was about 500. It reduced to 450. All right, here we have like 1,000. Over here we have like 800. Over here we have 950. Okay, so you see, the data analyst has used data to answer this question: what happened? What's the total number of fraudulent transactions that happened in January all the way to June? From January to June, what is the rate of, what are the fraudulent transactions that were perpetrated on the platform? So in January we did 300, February we did 500, March we did 450, April we did 1,000, May we did 800, and in June we did 950. Now you can see the data analyst has used data to answer a question of what happened in January, February, all the way to June. So when you see a dashboard, okay, when you see a dashboard, the dashboard is basically telling you what happened. Okay, and we'll also talk about the other aspect, which is diagnosing why that particular thing happened. Okay, so why? What happened? So with out of this 500, out of this 500 transaction, okay, how many of them are ATM transactions? How many of them are POS? How many of them are what they call it, mobile app? Okay, how many of them are, what else is there? The web application. Okay, so the data analyst is basically telling you what happened, transaction activities. Okay, where are these fraud perpetrated? Okay, is it in Nigeria? Do people take out these cards to other countries to perpetrate the frauds? What's the geographical activities of fraudulent transaction on the platform? So in January, we have majority of the fraud, out of 300, 250 were perpetrated in Nigeria, while 50 were perpetrated in another location entirely. Okay, in February, that number increased. Okay, so other countries increased by 50%. That's where you're using data to tell a story on what happened. How is fraudulent transaction? What happened on the platform? But now you also need to know why that particular thing happened. You need to know the reasons why that particular thing happened. Okay. So we did 300, there were 300 fraudulent transactions in January. Why? How did that happen? How did it happen? So that's when you now start to drill into those numbers to find out the reasons why 300 people were defrauded on the platform. Okay, so you start to understand certain pattern. That's when you start to see pattern that certain platforms or certain institutions allow certain things. Okay, so you can actually think about it. Some people will steal ATM cards, okay, and probably use some other kind of machine to draw the money out. So this is where you now start to understand the reasons of how those fraudulent transactions happen. Okay, so how does it happen? So if you see somebody's pattern, for example, somebody withdraws 50,000 every day, all of a sudden, 200,000 is leaving the person's account, okay, in a location that the person has not been to in the last 6, 8 months. Something fraudulent is likely going to happen, okay? So those are the things you start to see when you talk about why did it happen, okay? That's when you start to see pattern. That's when you start to get your insights, okay? So the insight that we're talking about that everybody talks about, the data analyst is trying to get insight and all that. This is how you start to generate your insights through descriptive analytics and through diagnostic analytics. Okay, what happened and why did it happen? Okay, why did it happen? How did it happen? Those are the things that you're exploring as a data analyst. So the data analyst is majorly focused on these two aspects. And that's the reason why you need to learn Power BI, Tableau, and all that to build dashboard. So you see a data analyst builds a lot of dashboard in order for them to track, to track what we call what happened and why did it happen. So when you build your dashboard and you click here, you click on the map or you click a particular bar chart, you see everything filters, okay? All right, everything drills down to explain what has happened, okay? Oh, 300 fraudulent transactions in January. That's descriptive analytics. Now, when you start to drill into those 300 to find out how and why those things happened, you're now doing what we call diagnostics analytics. Okay, so now that's the role of the data analyst. Anyways, if you do understand now, put a one in the chat if you understand the role of the data analyst. So this is focus on the data analyst, descriptive and diagnostic analytics. That's all. So you're building your dashboard to tell a story on what happened in the organization, how many fraudulent transactions, how many transactions, via POS, via what they call it, mobile app, via web app. So you're doing those analysis to tell a story on what happened and why that particular thing happened in that particular organization. So now the key question is, if you're looking to become a data engineer, data analyst, all right, what do you need to learn? All right, what do you need to learn in order for you to become a data analyst? Now, the key number one thing you need to learn is problem solving. Okay, the key thing you need to learn is problem solving. Okay, now take those questions, for example, what happened and why did it happen? You'll find out that you're always going to be answering questions. Okay, you're always going to be asking questions as a data analyst. So the CEO wants to find out, what's happening in Marcodi, what's happening in our branch in the UK, what's happening in Liverpool. You are trying to decode, you're trying to find answers to what is happening in that particular region. Okay, so you're always going to be solving problems, either good problem or bad problem. I usually say good problem or bad problem because if your business, for example, let me say good problem, let's say January, February, and March, we're looking at revenue. Okay. Let's say in January, you made 3 million naira. February, you made 5 million naira. In March, you now made 25 million naira. As a data analyst, this is what I usually call good problem because all right, it's a problem because you've been making 3 million or 5 million on average. Let's say on average, you've been making about 4 million every month, okay, month on month, 4 million. All of a sudden, you're able to exponentially grow to generating 25 million. As a data analyst, you need to be able to find out the reason what happened this particular month. You need to answer that question. What happened? Okay. And why did it happen? Okay. Why did it happen? You need to be able to answer that question because the moment you know how to generate 25 million naira, the moment you know what happened and why that was able to, why that happened, okay, you can replicate to other months. So going into April, you can replicate those strategies, your insights into the next month, okay, into April, May, June, July, August, and so on and so forth. And rather than making 5 million every month, okay, you can start to make the 20s, the 25, the 35, the 40 million, all right, through this particular strategy. Now, as your role as a data analyst, you need to be able to problem solve. You need to be able to look at the potential problem within the organization and come up with solutions. So that's what we call problem solving. So there are different strategies you can go through in order for you to problem solve in an organization. Those are the things you need to learn. So it's not just learning Excel, learning Tableau, learning all the technical skills that you are familiar with. The key thing is learning technology, learning problem solving. So you need to be able to break those problems down into smaller pieces, then start to do your analysis. So essentially, you need to learn problem solving. You also need to learn Excel. You need to learn SQL. You need to learn Power BI, Tableau. So you see, these are the key technologies that you need to learn, the four of them, as a data analyst. So bear in mind that you're always going to be building more of dashboards, reports, analytics, and reports. So you're covering what we call descriptive and diagnostic analytics. So Excel, all right, you learn to use Excel. A lot of people think that Excel is a very mundane tool, but Excel is still widely used in the industry. Guess what? One of our participants got a job just about 2 weeks ago, and the assessment during the recruitment process was in Excel, was just using Microsoft Excel. All right. So those are the things that you don't know that we're going to teach you. We'll teach you all the things that you need to learn in Excel. All right, how to use Excel for reporting, how to automate your report in Excel, so on and so forth. Same thing with SQL. You need to learn SQL because the data currently is in the data warehouse. Okay, how do you extract the data from the data warehouse? You need SQL. So the data is currently sitting in the data warehouse. Now, how do you extract the data from the data warehouse? You need SQL. That's where SQL comes in play. You would also get to work with Power BI, okay? And you also get to work with Tableau, okay? So you get to work with these two tools, okay? Just one interesting fact, there's a role I took on just a couple of years ago, okay? And the role was looking for somebody that was proficient in Power BI and also proficient in Tableau, okay? And these are the things that you are learning and you'll be able to do yourself. So this role enabled me to work, with Power BI and Tableau. So they had their reports. They had reports already designed in Tableau, but they were migrating from Tableau to Power BI. Okay, so they needed somebody that knows Tableau and also that also knows Power BI and can what we call reverse engineer those reports in Tableau into Power BI reports. So there are roles like that that exist. Okay, so there are quite a number of roles. There are what we call Power BI developer roles, whereby you might be taking on those kind of projects, whereby you're just taking Excel dashboards and you're turning it into Power BI dashboards. Okay, so there are so many roles you can actually take on when you go through the training program. Trust me. So you learn Excel, you learn SQL, you learn Power BI, and you learn Tableau. But now, one essential skill set you need to learn is what we call data storytelling. Data storytelling. Okay, data storytelling. That's an essential skill set you need to learn as a data analyst. So a lot of people are focused on learning learning the technologies, I mean, okay? But also another key skill you need to learn is how to tell Sorry, guys. I think something just my Wi-Fi router just went restarted by itself. Apologies for that. Really apologize for that. Okay, so sorry about that. All right. So the router that I was working on, all right, just I was working with my internet just restarted by itself, and it happens like that. I don't know. I need to figure out how to stop that restart. So it just restarts by itself after a very long period of time, 2 days, 3 days. Unfortunately, it fell on the session. Apologies. I really apologize. Try to avoid any internet issues when we are having sessions like this. Sorry for that. All right. So yes, I think we stopped at the role of the data analyst, and I talked extensively about the role of what you need to learn from problem solving to Excel to Power BI to SQL to Power BI to Tableau, and so on. I was talking about data storytelling. Okay, data storytelling was where I ended. Okay, the conversation, and all right, I'll talk about data storytelling. Okay. When you find out that the data analyst is telling the story, is always going to, we talked about descriptive and diagnostic analytics in the sense that you're always going to be telling a story on what happened and why that particular thing happened. Now, how do you tell a story? Okay, using your data. It's not just, 50,000 people generated, 7,000 of people, 50% of them. No, that's not data storytelling. There's a way you tell your story using visualizations, using numbers, and those are the things that you'll be learning in the training program. You would also get to work with AI for analytics. Okay, you would also get to work with AI for analytics. So you get to work with how to use ChatGPT for analytics. And last but not the least is Microsoft Fabrics. Okay, Microsoft Fabric is a very recent tool within the data ecosystem. All right. So even if you're familiar with Microsoft ecosystem, Power BI, okay. So what Microsoft is trying to do is to build a one-stop analytics platform. Okay. So Microsoft Fabrics in the next couple of, I would say before the end of the year, next year, would be the sole platform that will be used for analytics. So there won't be Power BI external and all that. Everything will be infused in one central location. So your end-to-end data, analytics, work will be done in Microsoft Fabrics. And we've started teaching that, we've started teaching that basically solely for the purpose of you keeping our students ahead of the market in the sense that when Microsoft Fabrics now become the in-demand skill in the market, okay, you would have gained experience, you would have worked on projects, you would have had project at your disposal that you can show or share with recruiters, potential recruiters, that these are the things that you have used. All right. And also in the job market, it gives you an advantage, when you're taking recruiters that also you have deployed or you've worked with Microsoft Fabrics. So in terms of all the things you need to learn, from problem solving to Excel to SQL to Power BI to Tableau to data storytelling to ChatGPT for analytics and also Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So that's exactly what you need to go through in order for you to become a data analyst. Okay, now the next is the learning timeline. So it's 4 months. Okay, the learning timeline is for 4 months. So 3 months of learning, all right, 3 months of learning and 1 month free internship. Okay, 1 month free internship. Now you have 3 months to learn where you get to work on projects in Excel to SQL to Power BI to Tableau, where you're going to put your problem solving skill to test, your data storytelling to test, and so on. All right. So basically, that's the 3 month learning timeline for the data analyst training program. Okay. Now, Saturday classes. So you have the live classes on Saturday. So you have the morning session between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time for the guys in Europe, the guys in the UK, the guys in Nigeria, in Africa in general. You have the time in the morning between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Now, for the guys in Canada and the US, okay, the time for you, it will be the evening session, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Okay, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. That would be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So even though it's the evening for the guys in Africa or the guys in Europe, it's going to be the morning for the guys in the US and the guys in Canada. So that will be 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's your own time for your live classes on Saturday. And on Sunday, all right, you have the self-paced sessions, okay, which is the Watch Me Do It videos where you get to learn, practice, and work on more projects by yourself. Okay, so those are the things that would give you building your own portfolio. All right. So before the end of the program, you would have built an average of nothing less than 8 projects across all the program, all the courses that we have, all the technologies that you learn, and so on. You would have built well over 8 projects before you complete the training program, and that's how you'll be able to achieve that using the watch me videos, basically. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next part, okay, which is what roles can you apply for, okay, as a data analyst? What roles can you apply to once you go through the data analytics training program? So obviously you can go for the data analyst, you can apply for data analyst position. You could also apply for what we call SCM analyst, which is called supply chain and logistics analyst. Okay, you can also apply for sales analyst. You can also apply for operations analyst, digital marketing analyst, customer insight analyst, product analyst, business intelligence. These are roles you can also apply to once you complete the data analytics training program. These and more. There are more training programs you could actually apply to. So data analytics, to supply chain management analyst, to sales analyst, customer insight analyst, and more. There are more roles you could actually apply to. I will show you how to apply for these roles, where to apply for these roles, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, moving on to the next one, which is the role of the data scientist. Okay, the role of the data scientist. Now, the data scientist, what makes the data scientist very unique and different from the data analyst is what we call predictive analytics. Okay, so this is the key distinction. This right here, the number 3, all right, is the key distinction. This is what separates the role of the data scientist from the role of the data analyst. Now, the data analyst will work on what we call descriptive analytics, would work on diagnostic analytics, and that's the end. The data analyst would only work on descriptive and diagnostic analytics, tell a story on what happened and why that particular thing happened. Okay? But the data scientist will take it a notch further to ask a question: what will happen? Okay? What will happen? Okay? What will happen? What happened? Why did it happen? The data scientist will now take it one step further to do what will happen. So as a data scientist, you would also learn descriptive analytics. You will learn how to perform what we call descriptive analytics. As a data scientist, you would also get to work with diagnostics analytics. All right. Then lastly, you'll get to work with predictive analytics. So the data scientist can perform all 3 of these analytics, all 3 of them. What happened? Why did it happen? And what will happen? Now, looking at what will happen, fraudulent transaction. We're looking at fraudulent transaction. How do we predict in the future that if a transaction is about to take place, we can claim that this is a fraudulent transaction? All right, this is a fraudulent transaction. Now, let me tell you my own past when we implemented this particular situation for this fintech platform. Okay, so we did the analysis, we did the machine learning, we did the predictive analytics and all that. I used to bank with that same bank. Okay, all right. I used to bank with them. I used to use their card. I was a staff, and also I used the platform for savings and all that. Okay. So I moved from Ireland to the UK. All right. And I was in the UK. I'd already, I'd gone out, gone eating, different restaurants. I'd gone shopping. I've gone to different malls to buy stuff, and all that. But one particular day, I went to a particular type of restaurant. Okay. All right. And after eating, and I was about to pay, I went out with a couple of friends of mine. So I was the one that was paying for everybody. Then everybody will refund me. Not like, that's the way we do it. All right. So I pay and everybody sends the money to me. So it was quite a large sum of money. Okay. So I paid. Okay. And immediately I tapped the card, the transaction did not go through. And I was trying to figure out why the transaction, because I had enough money in the account. So I was trying to find out why that transaction did not go through. Okay, so I found out that my card was blocked, like my card was frozen, and the next day I had to call the bank to find out the reasons why the card was, because I had, people within the bank because I used to work with them. So I called to ask them the reasons why, that would have happened. Like, you understand the old logic, because we built the system. So I wanted to understand the logic why the card would have failed for that particular kind of transaction. So that's where predictive analytics comes in. Okay. So the system had predicted, no, they had built a system around it, in the sense that if, once the person has relocated, obviously people can relocate. You can go for a vacation, okay, and you can spend money anyhow you want. Your card don't get blocked, okay. But there are certain, there's certain institutions you go to. There are certain type of POS machines that you will tap your card, and maybe those kind of, in the past, that particular kind of machine have been used in perpetrating fraud. Okay, the location, the time, there's so many things that went into it, and based off those features of that transaction, the card was blocked immediately. So based on the location, based on the recipient, based on the amount that was being charged, based on so many other features, okay, the card just flagged it as a fraudulent transaction, and the money did not go out. Okay, so those are the things that organizations, especially the banks and all that, have implemented in their systems to be able to detect fraudulent transactions. I was very proud that day. When we were talking, I was talking to my colleagues, my former colleagues, and they were telling me that, oh, that's the reason why it went through. That's the reason why it did not go through. All right, and I was very convinced that how much money would have been saved by the bank, you know, through the implementation of that predictive model that was able to predict fraudulent transaction. All right, sometimes it might be true, sometimes it might be false. Like in my situation, it wasn't a fraudulent transaction, but was able to block it, was able to anticipate or predict that this transaction might likely be fraudulent, hence the reason why there was a block. Okay, so the data scientist is that professional that will be able to build such kind of predictive models that will be able to predict fraudulent transaction. All right. Another very interesting project I worked on was with one of my former organization, was a computer vision application that will predict if you're wearing your face masks, your face mask during COVID-19. It was a small time project, but we deployed it for the warehouses within Ireland back in the days. Okay. So we built a model that was able to detect if workers were wearing their face masks. Okay. So, obviously it's not easy for a system, for computers to detect if you're wearing face masks or not. Like you're taking a selfie today. All right. You take your camera and you take a selfie. Yeah, the phone doesn't know what you're doing. Okay. Doesn't know what's happening if you have your face mask on and all that. But how can the system, get to understand that this person is not wearing a face mask, this one is wearing a face mask, and so on. All right. So those are the things that you would do as a data scientist, building predictive models. All right. Now, this is where the data scientist, this is exactly what makes the data scientist different from the data analyst. Also, another key thing that you need to know is the type of data that they deal with, the type of data that they deal with. Now, the data analyst, okay, all right, will work with what we call only structured data, what we call structured data, okay? The data analyst will work with structured data. So data in a table, okay? Data in a table that looks like this, that looks like it's in a table, all right? So you have name, okay? Let's say name, age, country, okay? Let's say amount, and let's say discount, okay? So you see it here, you see this is a table. So basically it comprises of what we call columns, okay? Columns, okay? And your rows, okay? And rows. So this is a structured data. So the data analyst will work majorly with structured data, structured data. But the data scientist, on the other hand, will work with both structured and number two, unstructured. Unstructured. The data analyst will work with both structured and unstructured data. Now, what is unstructured? Structured is in a table. Anytime you see a table, like when you open Excel today, you see that the data is structured in a table. Okay. So that table is what we call structured data. It has a header and it has rows and columns. Basically, that's what we call a table. That's what we refer to as structured data. Well, the flip side, the data scientist would be able to work with structured data. The data scientist will also be able to work with unstructured data. Now, what's unstructured data? Data that cannot be put in a table. Data that cannot be put in a table. Take, for example, we all use Instagram. All right, we find out that data like pictures, okay, pictures, we upload pictures. All right, we upload audio, okay, we upload what we call text, okay, we upload what else, videos, okay, all right, and all that. So you see, all these cannot be put in a table. A picture, for example, you cannot put a picture in a table. How does a picture fit into rows and column? You can't do that. Audio, like you record the voice note and send it to your friend on WhatsApp, you can't take that audio and put it into rows and column. Text, you can't put text, a bunch of text into rows and column. Also, the same thing with videos, you can't put videos into rows and column. So you see this as well as what we refer to as unstructured data. So the data scientist would be able to work with unstructured data. Meanwhile, the data analyst cannot work with unstructured data, but the data scientist would be able to work with both structured and unstructured. Okay, so that's the key difference between the data analyst and the data scientist. So now, two things to remember. The data analyst would not do predictive analytics, would not do prediction, would not do machine learning and all that. Okay, the data scientist will do that. The data scientist will work with both structured and unstructured. The data analyst will only work with structured data. Do we guys understand the difference between the role of a data analyst now and the data scientist? Can you guys tell me? Just put a one in the chat if you understand now the distinctions between the role of a data analyst and a data scientist. Okay? Awesome. I love this. You guys are awesome. I won't lie to you. You guys are absolutely, absolutely the sweetest, the most interesting guys I've been with. Very fantastic. So now what do you need to learn to become a data scientist? Key question. Now, as a data scientist, what do you need to learn? You need to learn statistics, very important. Like I said, this is where you start to do your statistical modeling. You start to do your machine learning. Okay, so statistics is now very important. You need to learn statistics. Now, a lot of people are usually scared of statistics. Oh, I'm going to learn linear algebra. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn, all those statistical concepts, which I found very not useful when we're in university or when we're in secondary school. But now, guess what? Statistics is literally the foundation of what you need to learn. Okay. And the way we used to learn it back in the days was not the right way of learning data, of the learning statistics in the first place. All right. Take, for example, measure of central tendency, mean, median, okay, and mode. Okay, and mode. All right. So we have these three. This one statistical concept that is very, very important to understand in data science. The mean, your median, and your mode. This is what we call the measure of central tendency. Now, when I was in university, secondary school, the mode, okay, the median and the mode, I found it very difficult to understand. Why would I want to get the middle number? Why on earth would I want to be, have a bunch of numbers and I'll be looking for the middle number? I found it very difficult to understand. Okay. But now going through data science, I now see the reason why we needed to use the median. Okay, because of what we call outliers. Anyways, I'm not going to bore you that with that particular concept, but because of outliers, the median is not, is not substitutable to outliers. So that's why we use the median. Mode, the most frequent number, the number that appeared the most. Why would I want to use that in analysis? So that's the way you then start to use it in real life situations. So what we do differently is we show you how this is used in a real life business scenario. So rather than learning the theoretical aspects, okay, learning formula, you're learning how it is being used in the industry. Okay, so you're not just learning statistics. What is measure of central tendency? What is standard deviation? What is variance? What is all these key statistical concepts? You're not just learning it for the fun of it. You're learning how to implement it in a business scenario. Okay, now you move on to Excel. All right, Excel, and you learn Tableau. Now you see this is very interesting because as a data scientist, All right. You would learn Excel, you learn Tableau for descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. Now you find out that you're doing predictive analytics, all right, in which the data analyst will learn Excel, okay, but they won't be able to do predictions, okay. But you going through this particular curriculum would be able to use Excel to do predictive analytics. All right. The first predictive analytics I deployed was using Excel. The first one I ever built in my career was in Microsoft Excel. And guess what? It was used for the company in the UK alongside the group company across, the group company in was in Poland. Okay, the group company in Poland, but that branches in Germany, Italy. It was a Europe-based organization. All right. So the prediction I did, the forecast I did in Excel was then used in over 4 other European countries. Okay, and I used it in Excel, Microsoft Excel. So a lot of people underestimate what you could actually do with Microsoft Excel. Okay, so you learn that, okay, and you will learn Tableau to do the same thing for descriptive, diagnostics, and predictive analytics. And this is the main reason we call it the full stack data science program. That's the reason why we call it full stack, because you're not just learning Python. Majority of the people think that it's just Python that I need to learn to become a data scientist, which in fact is true. Okay. All right. But different organizations they are at different levels of adopting data science. So you might get an organization that is prevailing using Excel. But how do you still deploy analytics? How do you still deploy predictive analytics, descriptive and diagnostic analytics using Excel in the organization? For example, you can. If it is Tableau that they're using, you would be able to use Tableau for your descriptive, diagnostics, and predictive analytics. All right. And if they're very advanced and they're using Python, okay, fantastic. You get to learn Python. You still learn Python. Okay. And this is why we call it full stack, because you're not just learning one skill, you're not just learning one technology, you're learning a marriage of technologies. Okay. So you're going to learn Excel, you're going to learn Tableau, you're going to learn SQL, and then you go into Python programming. Then you start to do what we call exploratory data analysis. This is where you now start to talk about your univariate, bivariate, and multivariate analysis. Okay, that's what you start to do: visualization, analysis. You are doing analysis, what we call exploratory data analysis. Then you move into machine learning. Okay, and then you move into computer vision, and you'd also work on projects in what we call NLP, natural language processing. Okay, so you build projects around this in machine learning projects, supervised and unsupervised. You would also get to work with computer vision and NLP, natural language processing. You would also get to work with GitHub for version control. You would also get to work with ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for coding. And you'd also get to work with Microsoft Fabric. So a lot of people will be asking, what about Power BI? What about Power BI? So you will not be learning Power BI as a standalone tool, like a data analyst. You'll be learning it in Microsoft Fabrics. So like I said, Microsoft Fabrics is a one-stop tool that comprises of Power BI, analytics deployments, and so on. So you will still learn it even as a data scientist. And that's what makes it, very robust. And that's why we have to give it a full stack data science program. Now, a lot of you will be wondering, these are some features of data analytics, some features of data analytics, and it also incorporates a lot of data science. All right. So what makes this different is programming. Largely going to be programming. So if you're not a programmer, you don't like programming. Okay, you don't want to program, or you find programming as stressful, or whatever the case might be, then the data analytics training program is for you. Okay. All right. If you don't want to program, you're not interested in programming, then the data analytics training program is going to be for you. For the data scientist, it's going to be code-based. Okay. You're going to be doing a lot of coding. Okay. In the sense that you're using Python for machine learning, exploratory data analysis, computer vision, natural language processing, and so on. And you'll be using Python to do this. You'll be using programming languages to do this, and that's Python. Okay. Now, the learning timeline is for 4 months, 3 months of learning, okay, and 1 month of internship. 3 months of learning, 1 month of internship, okay, and that's exactly what you get, okay. Now, the learning timeline, okay, for the live classes, okay, you have the morning session and you have the evening session. The morning session is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. For the guys in Europe, for the guys in UK, Africa, and so on. Okay. For the guys in Canada and the US, the time would be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay, and that's exactly what you need. That will be the evening, anyways, for the guys in Nigeria, the guys in Europe, and all that. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Okay, so that's the timing for the Saturday live class. Then on Sunday, you get the Watch Me Do It videos, okay, self-paced videos that would allow you to work on more projects at your own pace, okay? Understand certain concept at your own pace. Then you come to the live class to work on projects. So the live class is usually designed for projects, okay? It's usually designed for projects, okay? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about, okay? Now, let's move on to the main, what roles can you apply for? What roles can you apply to once you finish your training program? Now, as a data scientist, you could always work as a data scientist, okay? You could work as a data analyst, you could work as a sales analyst, supply chain analyst, fraud analyst, pricing analyst, market research analyst, logistics analyst. So you find out that the data scientist can take on some opportunities as a data scientist, okay? So the data scientist can take opportunities in some aspect of the data analyst. So you see fraud analyst, pricing analyst, and so on. So you can. So you have quite enough opportunities that you can actually take on, working as a data scientist. So now, looking at all these roles that we've gone through, okay, all right, which one of them again now that you understand the difference between the data analyst, the data scientist, and the data engineer, now, which of them would you still be interested in? Let's just use the abbreviation DS, DA, and DE, okay? Okay, what roles would you go for? DA, okay. So now I see a lot of DA, DS, okay, DA, okay, all right, let's go. The one with plenty money, all of them have plenty money. I'll show you some roles, okay. I'll show you some roles, okay. All right, so I have DA, DAs, okay, and all that. Okay, fantastic, that's good. All right. Now, why should you train with us? I'm going to do the next 10 minutes to explain the reason why you should train with the analytics. Okay, and it's very simple. We have 4 key things that I'm going to talk about. Number 1 is our achievement the last couple of years in existence. So we've only been in existence for the past almost 4 years now. Okay, and we've helped over 2,000 people transition into the tech space. And when I say we have, when I say the word two, when I say 2,000, I mean we have evidence to back up those numbers. Okay, and some of those testimonials are the ones I shared with you at the start of the session. So we have a good track record of helping people secure positions in the tech space, not just in Nigeria, not just in Africa, but in the UK, in different European countries, in Canada, the US, and so on. Okay, and we've helped a ton of people, and we will still continue to do the same thing. So if you're looking to get it started, please, if this is what you're looking for to get a job after completing your training program, this is a platform to be on. Okay, industry standard facilitators and curriculum. The reason why I took out my time to walk you through the courses, okay, and also the career part, is also to tell you that we have a very robust curriculum. So looking at the data science, looking at the data analytics, looking at data engineering, you find that you're learning the in-demand skill set that you need to learn in order for you to secure the job. Even beyond that, adding additional, level of learning using AI tools like ChatGPT, like GitHub Copilot for coding and all that. You're leveraging recent technologies in order for you to get started, to get your foot into the door. So, and not just the curriculum, you also have industry experts, people that have a wealth of experience in the industry that will be guiding you. Okay. Number 3, blended training to accommodate every learning type. When we say blended, I mean a mix of live classes and what we call the watch me do it videos. So it's a merge of 2 words. Okay, so we have the live classes and we have the watch me do it videos. The live classes, like I mentioned, is mostly project based. They're project based. Okay, so project based. So rather than coming to class to teach you concepts, okay, we use the live classes to work on projects. And that's the reason why I told you, you'll be working on a minimum on all the career paths that we talk about today. You'll be working on a minimum of 8 projects in each of those career paths. Okay. Now, the watch me do it videos is for you to understand certain practical aspects, okay, and some practical aspect and explain some concepts to you. So rather than coming to class to do concepts or explain concepts, okay, you could learn that at your own pace, okay, and work on little projects before you come into the live class, okay. And when I go to the Google Classroom where we have all the material stored, you will see exactly how this thing flows, okay. So you have the training curriculum that blends and ensures that different people of different learning types can learn and get things done faster. Okay. All right. So tailored session to help you position yourself to land a job would also talk you through that. Okay. In the next few slides. All right. So these are the things that you go through. All right. Tailored session to help you position to get in that first job. So, okay. So how do we do this? It's very simple. We have a 3-layered approach that I'm going to put you through. I'm going to talk you through. So the first one is your CV review. So it would help you review your CV. Would help you review your CV. So I have experience. I don't have experience. I'm just getting started. Don't worry. That's exactly why we do what we're doing. Would help you revamp your CV because your CV is your gateway to landing that first job, to be honest with you. Your CV is that gateway, is the first thing that will get you in that interview process, in your interview process. Okay, so when we review your CV, you have experience, you don't have experience. How do you design your CV? Would help you to achieve that. Okay. Oh, I'm coming from a medical background. How can I use my medical background as experience? Would help you do that. I'm a lawyer. Would help you do that. I'm a teacher. Would help you review your CV and fine tune your past experience into whatever career path that you're going into. LinkedIn optimization, fantastic. Add additional bonus to the course. So LinkedIn optimization basically works like Google search, like SEO, what we call SEO. So when you go on Google and you search for something, okay, Google would recommend the best product or the best results to you. Now, the skill of LinkedIn optimization, if a recruiter goes on LinkedIn to search for a candidate or to search for a particular role, let's say data engineering, they should be able to see your profile as a data engineer. So that's you ranking better. So how do we optimize your LinkedIn profile to help you rank better when recruiters are looking out for certain opportunities? All right. Upwork optimization for freelancers, people that want to work freelance, would also help you to optimize your Upwork profile. The next is navigating the job market. So how do you navigate the job market? Those are the things I will talk to you about. So today, I told you the data analyst, for example, there are several roles you can apply to. You can apply for operations analyst, logistics analyst. You can apply for quite a number of other roles, okay, within the analytics spectrum, okay? A lot of people don't know this. Now you're looking for remote jobs. Where do you get remote jobs? How do you get jobs in the UK? How do you get jobs in the US? How do you get jobs in Canada? How do you navigate your way in these regions? We'll talk about that also. How do you navigate a job? We'll explore all that and more in the coming classes. Okay. So job interview and preparation, this is where we prepare you for the interview. Okay. So we take our time to tailor the interview process to suit you better. So if you've never, obviously you're learning data, let's say you're learning data science for the first time, you've never interviewed as a data scientist. So how do you prepare for those interviews? How do you answer questions? Okay. So there are certain ways that we'll go through to teach you how you can go about that. So the job and interview preparation session would help you with that. Help you out to answer questions better using the STAR technique: situation, task, action, and result. How do you deploy that during your interview processing skills? Okay. Now, number 6 is recommendation and reference letter. That's very important, especially for the guys looking to get a job in the UK, in the US, in Canada, looking for remote jobs. You need recommendation letter. You will need a recommendation letter. Now, bear in mind that if you've been working as a teacher, or you've been working as a customer service representative, or you've been working in another domain that is not technology inclined, you really can't use that same organization as a point of reference. So you've been working as a teacher, for example, okay, and you've gotten an opportunity to work as a data scientist, but they need a reference from you, from a prior organization, a previous organization. Your previous organization cannot stand in for you as a data scientist, okay? All right. So this is where data analytics comes in, because you are going through the course and you're also going through the program. Okay, you are given the opportunity to use data analytics as a organization that you've worked with. Okay, you can claim work experience going through data analytics, and truly, you would have worked on different projects. Okay, you would have attended, you would have done quite a number of projects and deployed them. Okay, so you can claim work experience from data analytics. So we will stand in for you. Write you the most stellar, the most the most incredible recommendation letter that you can actually get in the market. So also we do weekly mentorship sessions where we bring in experts from the industry to come and speak to you. We do the on-the-job support, provide you with support to get you started. Okay, so once you get a job and you feel like you need training wheels, we'll provide you with that support. Okay, so you see, from your starting to even after you've gotten a job, we still have different packages that will get you encouraged, to get you very, well suited for your role. Okay. So on the job support is an additional level of, service that we render to ensure that you're getting the value for your training program. The last but not the least is we have currently secured partnerships with recruitment agencies in the UK, Canada, and the US and other countries. We're looking to expand into other countries. And what our promise to you is a guaranteed job interview 1 month after completing the training program with us. So guarantee you interview processes. Okay. So once you guarantee that interview, so what we have done is to build what we call the job pipeline. Okay. We have our own job pipeline that we have. So we have the recruitment, okay, the recruitment agencies on one hand. Okay. So these guys are the ones that have the job. Okay. So they reach out to us, 10 Analytics, okay? They reach out to 10 Analytics. Oh, we have an opening for a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, whatever role it is. All right. We have a pool of participants, okay? And we recommend our participants for the job opportunity. And that's why we guarantee you job interviews. Okay, that's how we're able to guarantee you job interviews. So you're in the UK, you're in the US, you're in Canada, we're recommending you to these job opportunities. Okay. So once you go through the training program, all right, our promise to you is you will get interviews. So once you get those interviews, we would also prepare you for those interviews. All right. How do you answer questions? Tell me about yourself. You use the SEAT approach. Tell me about a time, scenario-based questions. You use the STAR approach. Okay. How do you compose yourself? How do you come up with this experience? Okay, that is required for you to get a job. We'll all do that. We'll do that and more for you. So tell me about yourself. Okay, SEAT approach. Okay, that's the skill. You talk about your skill first. You talk about your experience. You talk about your achievement and the type of person that you are. When you're talking about STAR technique, you talk about situation, you talk about the task, you talk about the action, and you talk about the result. So these are the things, and very well packaged together to get you exactly what you need to get you started in your desired career path, either data analytics, data science, or data engineering. And one thing you should have at the back of your mind is we would help you. All right, we would work with you from the beginning to the end to ensure that you secure your desired role in the tech space. Now, working freelancer or working remotely, what I've done is I have uploaded some of our past sessions on how to get remote jobs. Okay, so let's think. I'm going to show you the first one. Okay, I'm just going to show you this real quick. So, you see, this is one of the this is one of the classes that we had earlier, walking you through where to apply to secure remote tech jobs in the US, Canada, and UK. So you see the video is a very detailed, it's a 2 hour, 41 minutes, walking you through how you can actually get remote roles in the US, in Canada, and the UK. So these are some of the job sites that you can use. And let me just show you, I have 3 videos in there, how to get remote jobs part 2. So I have another one. Okay, I have another one that will show you also how to get remote jobs part 2. Okay, so this is another session entirely walking you through how to get remote jobs, and that's me right there, how to get remote jobs. So this currently is a 3 hour, 22 minute video. You can just take your time to watch these videos and see exactly how to apply for remote jobs, okay, in the US, in the UK, and so on. And if you're in the UK looking to get sponsored jobs, how do you get sponsorship jobs? How do you get sponsored jobs? There's another session that was created by Adeza. Okay, so Adeza walked us through how to get sponsorship jobs in the UK. All right, so I think a well over 1 hour session. Okay, so you see tier two sponsored list. So you will see walking you through detailed on how you can actually secure a sponsored job in the UK. All right. So all this and more are what you will get. This is what we're even giving for free. So imagine when you pay for the training program, what you will get. Okay. All right. Now, moving on to the next thing, like I said earlier, it always seems impossible before you start. Before you start, oh, all these things, if you may have spoken about the last couple of hours, it's interesting to hear. All right. It's interesting to hear, but is it possible? Is it possible? That's what you would ask. And that's the reason why usually I like to talk about that. Okay. So we have a course starting on the 4th of May. All right. So if you're looking to go into data engineering, data science, data analytics, okay, we have a course starting on the 4th of May. But before we talk about the price, okay, I'm very sure some people will be asking, if a man, I didn't see any data engineer that has gotten a job, or I didn't see a data analyst that has gotten a job. I'll briefly play that of Michael and Shadi. Okay, all right. Michael got a job as a data engineer. I'm going to play that for you in a few seconds. I'm just going to share, just to ensure I'm sharing my audio. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead to listen to Michael. So this is Michael. Let's listen to Michael. I'll just play the first few seconds, first few seconds, so that you just get an idea. Okay.
Hi. My name is Michael, and I'm going to be speaking about how Analytics helped me to secure my first tech role. So at the beginning of the year, I was looking at different places onto how to gain the skills that I needed in order to get into the industry that I wanted, which was data engineering. I, funny enough, came across Analytics through Instagram, and I signed up to attend their first taster session. And through their first taster session, they showed me everything about how the classes would go, how they'll teach you, how they'll guide you in securing your first tech role. They spoke about the different sectors, whether it was business analytics, data engineering, which I got into, and data analytics and so forth. So at first we joined a group, and that group we went through different classes. We were assigned a mentor to teach us each of the aspects of data engineering, from Python to SQL to cloud computing and so forth. I love the lessons because they gave us a good foundational knowledge of how to code, of how to know about the industry, and it made us understand that coding, data engineering is not as difficult as people.
All right, so that's Michael. So I'm just going to play the last person, which is Shadi. Okay. Shadi's video is just about 1 minute. So just listen to Shadi.
Hi everyone, my name is Shade Huluwatosi. I want to talk to you about analytics today. I also did the program, that's the data science program. It's actually landed me my first tech job right here in the UK, and I do not have any previous experience. So one thing that I would really say that I like about analytics is the support that they provide. The support, it comes in terms of mentorship section. It comes in form of CV reviews and also LinkedIn optimization. I am going to recommend analytics to every Black person that I know that are interested in tech. I'm really going to recommend them to everyone that I really know. Thank you.
All right, so that Shadi also gets the job as a data scientist. And these are things that you don't know you can actually get, or these are opportunity that you might actually be missing out on big time. And these are the only difference, like I mentioned earlier, the difference between them and you at the moment is that they took that step to say, let me just try. There's no harm in trying. There is no let me just try. And now these guys are in jobs of their, what they were dreaming to have. That's exactly what they're doing at the moment. Toyin going to work as a benefit analyst, Bringer works as a business data analyst, Michael works as a sales engineer with a software company in the UK. Shadow works as a data scientist in one of the top, firms, also one of the top financial firms in the UK. All right. So and these and more. there are more people. This is just a tip of the iceberg, just to give you, just to show you, all right, that these things are very possible. Now, if you're looking to get things started, okay, all right, we have a discount running for the first 20 people to register. Now, this is an early bird discount. Okay, bear in mind that this is an early bird discount. Okay, so for the role of the data analyst, okay, the data analyst, if you're looking to go into data analysis, data science, or data engineering, all right, the full price is $750, okay, or £625, or 730 euros, or 1,127.25 Canadian dollars, or 900,000 naira. But now, rather than paying the full amount, we have a discount running at the moment, 33% off. Okay, so rather than paying 750, you could actually pay $600. Okay, rather than paying £625, you could actually pay £500. Rather than paying 750, okay, 730, you could actually pay 430, 475, and in Canadian dollars you can pay 750, and in naira you can pay 600,000 naira. So if you're looking to make payments now, all you need to do is click on the link. So you see the main start link. Click on that link. It's going to take you to a web page. Okay, I'm going to show you the web page in a few seconds. All right, and that's exactly what you have over there. Okay, so once you have that, once you click on the link, it's going to take you to that particular web page to get you started in your desired career. Okay, so if you're looking to make payments, this is the best time for you to make payments in order for you to get started. Okay, so the discount is only for the first 20 people. The discount is only available for the first 20 people to make payments. The discount is only available for the first 20 people to make payment. So what you have to do now is click on the link, all right? It will take you to the main start link that you see on the web page at the moment, and you can then make your payments. I'm just going to clean off this thing out of my screen. All right, so what you want to do is click on the main start link, okay? All right, it will take you to this particular web page where you can gain access to all the program brochures, So click on, when you get access to all the program brochures, click on that. It's going to take you to this page where you can see all the brochures. So we talked about all the training program, data analytics, data engineering, data science, and all that. Okay, so what we've done now is to provide you with, the brochures. Okay, so take for example, even if you're looking to go into data analytics, you can easily see the brochure, okay, that goes in depth to what you'll be learning in the training program. So we talked about problem solving, but we didn't talk extensively about what types or what are the things you'll be learning in problem solving. So the brochure will tell you in-depthly what you would learn, okay, in data science, in data analytics. So for problem solving, you'll be learning problem definition, you'll be learning the McKinsey approach, you'll be learning data gathering, synthesizing insights, making a decision, designing an issue tree, tips, DM, prioritization metrics, and so on. For data analytics, for Excel analytics, you'll learn introduction to Excel, data manipulation and data cleaning, data modeling, data analysis toolkits, data analysis, data visualization, data presentation, and so on. For Power BI, this is what you will learn, and so on. Now, for data science, it's the same thing, full stack data science. You will have it there. So, okay. And also this goes through details of what you'll be learning also. So introduction to data science, Microsoft Excel for analytics, for data cleaning, the data analysis toolkit, statistical analysis. So you see your statistics, data visualization, descriptive statistics, differential statistics, and all that. Okay, so this is entire curriculum for the data science training program. Data engineering is also the same thing there. Okay, you have it in the data engineering, and it goes in depth, telling you in depthly what you would learn. So you see data engineering fundamentals, introduction to data engineering, why data engineering, the 5 V's of data engineering, relational database, data pipeline concepts, database versus data lake, data warehouse, and data marts versus data lake. All right. So those are the things that you get to learn. Okay. All right. So those are the things that you learn from the training program. And one thing you need to have at the back of your mind that it is project-based. All right, it's not theoretical, it is project-based, and I'm going to show you that in a few seconds. All right. So you can get access. Once you click on the link, you can get access to the program brochures. Okay. Also, you can go to our website. All right. You can just easily go to the website tenalytics.io. Okay. So you can just easily go to tenalytics.io. Tenalytics.io, and it's going to take you to the website. You would also get access to everything that you're looking for in the class. Okay. Instructor-led classes. Okay. So if you're looking at data, let's say data analytics, for example, you can fill the course details and you can also get the brochure. You can see the download the brochure here. So either you take it from the main stack link or you take it from the website, you can get the download brochure over there on the website. Okay, now talking about payments, we are currently running a 33% discount, 33% discount. And this is the best you would actually get it. Okay. So once you can either pay directly to either of the bank accounts that you have here. So if you're in the UK, you can pay to the pound account. If you're in the US, Canada, you can use the USD account. If you're in Canada, you could also use the Canada account. If you're in Europe, you could use the Europe account details. And if you're in Nigeria, you can actually pay in Naira. Okay? You can actually pay in Naira. Okay, so if you want to use your card to make payments, you want to pay through the card, you want to pay via your card, okay, please do well to come down to card/online payments, and you would see where you can click on any of the courses that you have there. So if it's data science you're interested in, all right, if it's data science you're interested in, so the data science training program currently, instead of paying, so for the guys in, so this is currently showing Canadian dollars. So instead of paying 1,125 Canadian dollars, you can actually pay 750 Canadian dollars. You could actually pay 750 Canadian dollars. So that's a discount. So now all you need to pay is 750 Canadian dollars to gain full access to the training program. So you are getting a 33% discount in order for you to get started. Now, the key thing is, another thing is, you don't have to pay these at once. All right. You don't have to pay 750 Canadian dollars at once to qualify. So what you could actually do is, pay, the amounts that you have now to secure your discount. So we have 33% off running just for this week. All right. By next week, the discount will definitely reduce because this is an early bird discount. This is just the 13th of April. So getting closer to the start date of the 4th of May will definitely eliminate the discount. Okay. And bear in mind that it's only available for the first 20 people. All right. So once you secure your position, guys, once you secure 750, so instead of paying 750, you can actually pay as low as $300. Okay. So if you want to use $300 to secure your position, to secure a discount, please go ahead and do that immediately. Okay. So you can do that to secure your 33% discount, and then you can go ahead to make your payment. Well, the key thing is you need to complete payments before the 30th of April, okay? Before the end of the month. You need to complete training program before the start of the course, before this program starts, which is the 30th of April. So you can secure a discount now, okay? But you need to complete before the training program starts, okay? So that's one aspect you need to do, okay? So all you need to do is, like I mentioned, click on the main stack link. You will see the account numbers provided for you, okay? If you want to pay directly, to pay into the account numbers directly, please do that, all right? Naira account, Euro account, card account, USD account, and the pound account is all available, okay? So those are the things you need to do. So also for card payment, like I mentioned, select any of the course. If it is data engineering you're interested in, the same process. So rather than paying 750, if you can afford 300 Canadian dollars, if it is 300, you can pay now, pay the 300, secure a discount, and complete before the training program starts. The key thing is once you've secured a discount, you will complete the discount amount. But if you wait to the end of the month, okay, or when the discount is closed, you can actually you'll be missing out on it full time. Okay. Somebody's asking for a minimum payment for the Naira account for what's the minimum you can actually pay. Minimum should pay for the Naira account should be around 200 to 50,000 Naira, okay, to secure your position. 200, 250, secure your position, and then you can balance off before the start of the training program, or you can pay 300, all right, to secure your discount, and then pay the balance before the start of the training program. Okay. So those are the things. If you're in the US and you want to pay in dollars, that's $500. You can pay a minimum of about 300, $250 and complete before the start of the training program. Okay. So there are quite a number of opportunities. The discount is only available for the first 20 people. All right, I'm getting some messages now that they've paid their discount already. They've paid for the discounted amount. So once you've made payment, okay, and you're asking what's next. Once you make payment, please click on the link. Once you click on the link, you would see upload your receipt. Upload your receipt here. So payment registration form, that's what you need. So once you've made payments, like the people have sent me messages already, please, once you've made payment, click on upload your receipt. Click on upload your receipt here. Okay, click on it. Okay, and put in your information. So let's just say I put ef@gmail.com. All right. So I put in ef@gmail.com. I go next. Okay. Payment type. If it's first installment, if it's full payment you made, you click on full payment. If it's initial payment you made, please click on initial payment. Okay. Next. All right. Please note that after receiving the welcome kit, all balance payment must be made by the 30th of April. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to pay before the complete 3 p.m. If you're taking the 33% discount, you need to complete payment before the 30th of April. Click on next. All right, you put in your information, your first name, your last name, your email, your gender, you put in those information. Next, then you click on yes. Okay, so I've read the terms and condition. You can click on the link to see the terms and condition. All right, it's well spelled out, going through Analytics terms and condition. All right, so click on next. So when did you make payment? If you made payment today, obviously you made payment today, the 13th. Okay, so click on 13th. And you can upload a screenshot of so if you paid via your bank or you made a transfer, just take a screenshot of your transaction. Okay, if you paid through the web application, through MainStack, please just take a screenshot of your email notification and upload in. Just take a screenshot and upload. So click on upload file, click on browse. I will go to my downloads, okay, and I'll take on I'll take it in. So just a random picture, okay? All right. What was your mode of payment? So if you did a transfer, you could do MainStack transfer. If you did a Wise account, if you did a Wise transfer, okay. So if you paid a transfer to Canada, to US, you can actually click on that. And if you MainStack, you can just click on the MainStack website, okay. And please provide your account details, okay? Provide you the name of the account you paid from. So which program are you registering for? So either you're going for data analytics, data science, or data engineering, you can select any of those career paths. But if you still need to speak to a professional to make a decision, please click on I need to speak with a professional. Okay, and that will take you to the next level. Okay, so those are the things you need to do. So once you've made payment, please go back to the MainStack link and click on payment registration form. Payment registration form. Just click on this and you're ready, you're good to go. Okay. So yes, so that's exactly what we're talking about. Okay, so that's the discount. The discount is only available for the first 20 people. Now, the key thing, let me just walk you through what the platform looks like. So I don't want to take too much of your time today. I'm just going to take you through the class platform. Okay, so Google Classroom. So this is where all the materials are stored. So I'm going to take you through the guys that started this month. So the month of April. So some people, you see it here, cohort 2404. Cohort 2404. You'll see that. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, 2404. So you see it here, 2404. This is the North American guys. The guys in North America, that's the Canada guys, the guys in the US and all that. And we have the EU, which is it's just like the morning and the evening session like I talked about. Okay. All right. So you see the North America and the EU. Okay. And let's take a look at the EU. See, students, we have about 52 students in here. Okay, 50 So if you want to take advantage of the discount, guys, you need to take advantage of it now. It's only available for the first 20 people to register. Only 20 people out of this got a discount. Okay, the remaining people, the over 30, that's 32 people, did not get discount. So if you're looking to get in discount, let's check the NA class. You guys in North America, all right, people, we have 48 in this class. Okay, only 20 people got the discount. So if you want to be part of those discounts, people that will get a discount, please register as soon as possible. This is guy that started this month, April. Okay. So now let's just scroll down. Okay. So the reason why we want you to, make payment, the reason why we do the discount, the early bird discount, is so that you can get started earlier on. So you have the onboarding materials. You see all the things about onboarding materials in there. You have the onboarding session to onboard you to the training program, all the things you need to learn, all the things you need to download and all that. So you see, you have the watch me do it videos, okay? Microsoft Excel, watch me do it videos, okay? So now these videos, basically, let's take a look at them. So you see them there. So now these videos you will get to work with these videos at your own pace, okay? You can learn these things at your own pace. So you can see this is a 21-minute video, just about a 21-minute video. So all the things about introducing Excel for analytics.
Hi everyone,
Okay,
welcome
give me a
to
second.
Data Analyst.
All right. So you see these videos here are designed in a way for you to practice alongside the facilitator. Okay. They are built in order for you to practice alongside the facilitator. So you see, this is the first Microsoft Excel class. Okay. This is the first Microsoft Excel watch me doing videos. So this one will introduce you to what is Excel, what is a row, what is a column. So we don't need a live class. We don't need a live class to teach you, the basics of Excel, how to open Excel, how to copy and paste, how to do functions, how to do all that. We don't need a live class to do that for you. You can learn all that at your own pace, watching the Watch Me Do It videos. Okay. So you see, for the first class, we have about 6 videos in here, 6 videos. Okay. Now, let me show you what makes this very unique. Let me show you what makes this unique. So after taking the first class, after watching the first Watch Me Do It videos, okay, bear in mind, just gonna go back. Okay, you see, you have a live class. You see, you have a live class. So you see Microsoft Excel live class 1. Microsoft Excel live class 1. So you see it here. Now let's take a look at what they did in class. Now that I told you, the live classes are more project-based. Project-based. So let's take a look at the class, okay? Live class, this is a PDF document for the case study, okay? So you see it here, case 1, okay? You have been appointed to work with the newly appointed store manager as an analyst in a multinational sports spare parts company. You're required to provide a weekly report on the spare parts sold. The list of spare parts used in the previous week will be provided to you. You need to make the report easy to understand. Okay? So based off this, you will be able to do all this. All right, this is a case study. These are case studies you work on in class. So your life class is case study based. All right, your life class is case study based. So you're not going to be learning Excel in a life class. You'll be working on projects in a life class. And that's the reason why I said that you'll be working on the minimum of 8 projects in the entire curriculum that you're going to be working in. All right. So this is the guys that just started. These are the guys that just literally just started their classes. Okay, the month of April. So they still have a class today. They have a live class today. So let's take a look at the data engineers. Okay, let's take a look at the data engineering cohort. Okay, the guys that started this month, let's take a look at them. Okay, so you see, they also have the same thing, the watch me do it videos. So you see, introduction to data engineering, introduction to data engineering. So you see, what is data? What is big data? What's the 5 V's of big data? Database versus data warehouse, SQL versus no SQL, data format, ETL versus ELT versus ELTL, data ingestion, acid and base in modern data infrastructure. So you see, Emmanuel is saying, great, very interesting and well articulated videos. So this one will allow you to learn at your own pace. You also have the Python class, okay, the Python practicals, where you'll be learning Python, all right? And you see the videos that are there. These are currently 11 videos, okay, broken down into 11 videos that allows you to work at your own pace. Then, once you finish the Watch Me Do It videos, you have a live class. Okay, you have a live class. Okay, and that's exactly what they're doing this weekend. Okay, so essentially, that's the key thing you need to have at the back of your mind. The same thing with data science. So I'll take data for data science. I'll take you from the previous cohorts. That's the guys in the March cohort. Okay, so you see everything is recorded. All classes are live are recorded. So you have live and you have lifetime access to the materials. So lifetime access in the sense that even if after 6 months, 8 months, you can always go back to revisit the training program, okay, to watch the videos, you would have a live access to the materials. All right. So these are the guys that started in the month of March. Okay. You see it here, cohort 2403. Cohort 2403, the month of March. This is the data science guys. Okay, so you see introduction to data science, welcome address and all that. Okay, so you have your introductory class, you have the watch me do it videos. So you see it's your introduction to Excel. All right, let's take a look at it. So you see it's all those overview of Excel, introduction to Microsoft Excel, cell referencing and all that. So class comment. All right, and you see there all the things you can ask questions on the platform. You can ask all these things that you need to do. All right, you can ask questions on the platform and all the sessions are recorded. Okay. So you see the first live class, data cleaning with Excel. Okay, so let's take a look at the case study. Uh, Cleaning material, okay, and PDF document. Okay, so you see data cleaning with Excel. Why data cleaning? Real life consequences of poor data cleaning practices. And you see data processes in data cleaning. So this is the first Vector Inc. Okay, incorporated. As a junior data professional at your organization, you're required by your team lead to deploy data cleaning techniques in handling inconsistencies in clients' projects data. All right. You are also required to provide a report on their respective inquiries. These are the things that you will get to work in your first class in the data science. The same thing you do as a data analyst, the same thing you do as a data engineer. Those are the things that you would get to work on. And you have access, lifetime access to these classes, to the materials, to the textbooks. You see, we have textbooks in here. One of the books here, Fundamentals of Data Engineering. We have Python Crash Course, and so many other books that you will get once you go through the training program. So it's not just the material, it's not just the live classes. We have what we call the drop-in sessions that happen during the week. So you'll find out that you have drop-in sessions. I'm going to just go to the drop-in session. So you see drop-in session, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is about 5 weeks of drop-in sessions. So these are the guys that started in March. Okay. So they've had like 5 drop-in sessions that happen during the week. Okay. And you'll find out that these sessions are recorded. Okay. So even if you miss the classes, you always have access to the recording. You will always have access to the recording. You see them, they're currently working on SQL for this particular class. Okay. And that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. Okay. So that's exactly what you do. You get textbooks. You also have mentorship sessions, targeted strategy for job search, targeted strategies for job search, apply for a job as a data engineer, what recruiters look for when scouting, questions and answers with a recruitment specialist. Okay, how many jobs should you apply for? Salary negotiation, recording. So these sessions are all recorded. These sessions are all recorded. So even if you miss a session, you have lifetime access to. You still have access to the recording. So you could always go back there to review. All right. So you see, you have your CV review sessions, you have your LinkedIn optimization session, you have your Upwork optimization session, and you can take a look at the session itself. Okay. So you see Upwork optimization session is a 1 hour 36 minute session that walks you through how to optimize your Upwork profile. Okay. So those are the things that you will go through that will prepare you for. So it's not just the training, it's not just you learning the training program, it's the services that we provide additional to the training that we have in there. So you're getting it at a still currently, you're getting it at a discount, well discounted, well discounted. So rather than you paying that full amount, you can actually get 33% off, secure discounted day. Okay, discount is only available for the first 20 people to register, bear in mind. Okay, and once you get to those 20 people, we'll call it a day. Some additional success stories, Ini got a job as a CEO of a tech company after training program. Ini was, it was a tech professional, okay, just to put it out there. He had been working in the tech space, but he needed that significant jump. Okay, joined the data science training program and got a job as a CEO of a tech company in Nigeria. Okay, if he also landed a job as a business analyst within 3 months after concluding the training program. Naturally, he got a job as a business analyst, after joining the data engineering training program. So these are the kind of additional benefits that you get from going through the training program. And when I say we have enough success stories, we have a lot. We have a lot of success stories of people getting jobs in the UK, in Canada, getting remote jobs from Nigeria. We have a ton of them getting these opportunities. Okay. We have people securing scholarships also. Okay. Brenna secured a scholarship with University of Canada, relocated recently, and also landed a role, as a data analyst, working with this professor. Okay. So you also have patients that got a job as a data analyst, data scientist. We have people working in Spain. We have people working in Barcelona. We have people working in Dubai, the UAE, and all that. Okay, so we have people working across the UK also. So working as financial analyst, data analyst, HR analyst, logistics analyst, benefit analyst, fraud analyst. The list of people that have gotten jobs are absolutely remarkable. Okay, so we have a lot of them, and testimonials are there. Okay, and the testimonials are available for you to see. To be honest with you, and we have more. When I say we have testimonials, we have more. So you see, that's exactly what we need to put you through. Okay. So, anyways, let me see if I will take a few questions. Okay, before we call it a day, I'm just going to look through the chat if I have any questions, and I would be taking some questions. Okay. But if you have any questions, please feel free to send a call, place a call through the numbers that you see on the screen, or better still, you can just send an email to enquiries@10analytics.io, enquiries@10analytics.io. So if you have any questions or any concerns, you can call us on this number or send a WhatsApp message to these numbers, or you can send an email to enquiries@10analytics.io. Okay. I'll just take a look at some questions. I can see some questions in the chat. I'll just take some questions. So for the Naira payment, it's 900,000 Naira, but you're getting it at a steal at 600,000 Naira. Okay. All you can need to do now is just to secure a discount, just to secure the discount. So you could pay the first payment, you could pay as low as 250, 300,000, all right, to secure that discount, or you must complete before the start of the program on the 30th of April. Okay. All right, so that's what I would say. Somebody's asking about HR analytics. HR analytics we have a masterclass tomorrow that's going to be talking on HR analytics. So please put it to your calendar to talk about HR analytics. What about the one? Is there an option for one-on-one guidance for someone still not sure which career path to take? Yes, we have a one-on-one session next week. Okay, by Tuesday next week we should have a one-on-one session. So please take a look at your email, okay, if you want to be a part of what the one-on-one session or the WhatsApp group or the community group. Take a look at that. So if you want a one-on-one session, please, you can request for a one-on-one session on this platform. You can also send us an email requesting for a one-on-one session. I would book you in for the one-on-one sessions. Okay. Someone's asking about the first installment for Naira payment. So you can go as low as 50%, 300,000 Naira, secure your Naira discount at the moment. So I would encourage you to do that. So somebody said my phone is about to die. So sorry about that. Okay. I wanted to keep it to 2 hours, but we still did well. 2 hours, 30 minutes. We're just taking question and answer. The main session had ended. So somebody said the session was very productive. I will definitely stick to 10 analytics. Okay, Rupewe, thank you for that. Thanks a lot for that comment. Balance payment cannot be done through the period of the program. We can make arrangement for balance payment to be done, all right, in certain situations, but you need to send us an email for us to do that because the program is well discounted already. Okay, hence the reason why we are shying away from multiple installments of payment. Okay, so balance payment in some situation can be done. You just have to send us a message on WhatsApp or the enquiries at Stern Analytics, and we'll find out something we can work for you. All right. So we can do that. Just send us an email. You can make your discount, secure your discount first. That's the first thing you need to do. Secure your discount first. Then you can send us an email telling us you secure your discount and you would like, to structure like a payment or something. Then we can work something out for you. What quality of certificate? We'll get you a certificate, and not just a certificate, we'll get you interviews. Okay. So a lot of people are more focused on interviews, and just because of this question, I'm just going to take out my time to show you something real quick. All right. So I'm just going to go to, let's say I'm going to go to read.co.uk for the guys in the UK or looking to move to the UK. So I'm going to look for the role of a data engineer, for example. What certificate do you need to get a job as a data engineer? All right. What certificate do you need to get a role as a data engineer? All right. So you see data engineer, data engineer, data engineer, all data engineers. I'm just going to take any random one. Okay. Anyone, just so you see. All right. So certificate, you are looking for certificates. Let me show you something. All right. So you see, this is a job post, 70 to 75,000 pounds, okay, per annum. Responsibilities there, skills needed. All right. Where do you see certificates? This is the first one. I'm just going to show you another one. Okay. I'm going to take another one. Okay. Another one. Okay. This is paying us up to £4,000 per day. Okay. £4,000 per day. All right. Demonstrated strength in data modeling, what you will learn, ETL development, what we talked about today, and data warehousing. What literally all the things that we talked about today. All right. So you see, preferred qualification, okay? Industry experience, no certification. No, nothing like certification. Let's read it to the end. Experience building and operating highly available distributed systems, okay? Experience building data products, experience leading, experience providing technical leadership. So you see, it's experience they're looking for, not certificates. So, and that's one thing a lot of beginners are stuck in. Okay. Oh, I need certificate. I need certificate. I need to gather certificate. So you go and do online course and you go and get certificate on LinkedIn or Udemy, Udacity. Those things don't matter. The things that matter are the projects you've worked on. So you see, like in the data engineering course now, you see, let's take a look at their project. Okay. Okay. So you see, let's take a look at, I'm just going to just go through to show you some of the projects I worked on. So you see, this is the first one. This is SQL. So you see, this is an SQL project based off, an e-commerce platform. So I'm just going to show you shortly. So you see case study, Bongo e-commerce, okay? All right, so Bongo e-commerce aims at revolutionizing the online retail space, blah, blah, blah. The case study explores the development and implementation of a database solution tailored for Bongo e-commerce. So let's look at what exactly you want to do, all right? Objective, the objective of this particular case study, design and implement a scalable database schema, number one, enable efficient data manipulation and querying, number two, facilitate data analysis and reporting, number three. So you see, that's exactly what you will go through in this particular case study. And guess what? This is week 3. This is just the 3rd week of you going through the data engineering training program. The 3rd week of you going through this. You would have also worked on Metro Bank case study. Metro Bank case study. Let's take a look at Metro Bank. SQL also. But SQL is the fundamental skill. All right. You'll see me on the top right corner of the screen here. All right. So SQL is a very fundamental skill set of, data engineering. So let's take a look at this case study. Project background. You are a database administrator at Metro Bank, a regional bank that is expanding its services. Okay. I'm just going to go back. Okay. You have been hired to what? Build and deploy a relational database management system. So you're building and you're deploying in the 3rd week of you learning this particular thing. Hence the reason why I said that before you complete the training program, you would have worked, you would have gained experience. So you see, with this ordinary SQL, just looking at SQL, you have a banking experience, okay? And you also have an e-commerce project experience. 2 experience under one topic. And the way you go on is the same way you continue to work on different case studies, different projects. All right, different projects, different case studies, and so on. So you see group projects. So you have a case study here. Let's take a look at the case study. All right. Even retail is a prominent retail player known for its diverse products and so on and so forth, and customer service. All right. Let's take a look at the task. Okay. So let's look at objective. Let's just look at objective. Database setup, data loading, data retrieval and analysis, metric calculation, data modification, and maintenance. So this is now where you're combining Python and SQL together. Okay, you see it here. Let me just show you real quick. So Python and SQL. So this is where you now start combining them for easy manipulation, easy retrieval, ETL pipelines and all that. This is where you start to build your very simple, basic, not basic, but let's say intermediate, basic intermediate, pipeline building. Okay, so that's exactly what you will get to learn. Okay, so it's not about certification, it's about project experience. Okay, project experience. Okay, somebody's asking why we are not talking about quality certificate right now. Can you assist with getting a job after the program? We'll try our best. That's exactly what we do with all the additional sessions that we have. So in the sense that, we'll provide you with where to apply for jobs, recruitment portals. All right. We currently have secured partnerships with recruitment firms. So we'll try our own possible best to get you the opportunities that you need. Also, would also show you how to navigate the job market. So you can easily check out your place, where you can apply for remote jobs, where you can get sponsored jobs, where you can get all these opportunities. We would explore all that. Okay. So we'll do our best to ensure that you get a job. And that's why we have so much people that have gotten jobs going through the training program that are getting jobs. Okay. For the guys in the UK, minimum deposit, you can pay as low as 200 to £50, okay, to secure a discount. All right. Really interested, but don't have the money. Bright, apologies for that, but this is heavily discounted at this point already. So I hope that let me just see there are other questions around there. Okay. Okay, so how do we confirm that this kind of 20 people or something I've got off? So it's very simple. So all the platforms are sort of connected. Now, we're a data company, do you understand? So the way we have all the systems tied on the back end. So if you make payments through transfer, you make payments through main stack. Okay, everything, our books are gathering these things in near real time. Okay. So what happens is once you see the price, let me reload the page, you see that the page will give me the actual price. So this price is 750. So currently we still have 20 people. So whenever you come here and you see the price has reverted back to the original price of 1,125, okay, Canadian dollars, for example, all right, you'll know that the discount has been exhausted. Okay, so if you want to avoid paying the full amount, I would say you should pay the discounted application now. Okay. So so one-on-one session, please just click on the link. If you want a one-on-one session, you want like a tailored answer to your question, please join the one-on-one session. Can I just pay any amount to secure the discount and pay the balance for the end of the month? Any amount can be very tricky. You can pay 5,000 naira. Okay, now we won't take that. Okay, we'll take a minimum of 50%. All right, in order for you to secure a discount. Okay, a minimum of 50% for first installment. Okay, minimum of 50%. Okay. All right. Let me see if there are other questions. Please, what about someone zero knowledge in anything data? Literally, that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for you plain without any experience, without nothing at all. And that's why you find out that our curriculum is designed for beginners. Okay, so if you let's take a look at data engineering. You've never done anything data engineering before. Let's take a look at it. So you see, you have that introduction first off, overview of data engineering, welcome address, data engineering learning path, and so on and so forth. Okay, you have introduction to data engineering. You have a watch me do it videos, self-paced videos that would also go through the fundamentals of what data engineering is all about, the key concepts that you need to understand, and so on and so forth. Okay, using real life examples, real life situations to explain this concept to you to make you understand better. That's exactly what we will be talking about. Okay, so as a beginner, we'll start from the fundamentals. So you see, Python basics. So you're starting from the basic, getting started in Python, integer and float, variable assignments, strings, print formatting, lists, dictionaries. You're starting from the beginning. Same thing with data analyst. Okay, take a look at the data analyst position, data analyst training program. You're starting from the basics, from the beginning. All right, problem solving. Okay, all right. You have Excel watch video videos. Let's take a look at that again. I'm going to show you again. Videos. So you see, you're starting from the beginning. What is Excel? I'm just going to show you the videos. So as a beginner, you have nothing to worry about because we're going to go through all the basics. What's a row? What's a column? Okay, so introduction to Excel. The most wide. So you see, you're starting from the beginning, from the barest point, from the lowest point is where we start from, and we start to build up on there. So you see Excel interface, what's a row, what's a column, what's a formula bar, what's active sale, what is field undo, and so on and so forth. We'll talk extensively about all that, okay, during the training program. So even as a beginner, you're going to still learn. You're still going to be, we are literally going to start from that beginner level and carry everybody at the same pace. And that's the reason why we have a blend of live class and watch me do it videos, okay, to ensure that you're learning from the training program. Okay. The sessions are also recorded. So even if you miss the classes, you miss a class or a group of classes, you would always have access to the recording. And let's take a look at the problem solving class. For example, class recording, you have the recording in there. Okay, the class recording is there. So this is about a 3-hour, 50 something minutes video. Okay, it might take a few seconds to load. Okay, so you can give it a few minutes for it to load while I take some other questions. Okay. Okay, no questions anymore. How flexible is it to get a remote job as a data engineer? Quite flexible. I'm just going to take out 2 seconds to take a look at some roles in data engineering. For remote roles, I'm going to go to one of my favorite sites. I've gotten a couple of gigs, a couple of opportunities using the site. So it's called Built In. It allows you to get remote jobs, remote opportunity anywhere in the US. So data engineer is what you're looking for. All right, so see jobs. So now you see this was posted 21 hours ago. This is currently hybrid. So I don't want hybrid. Okay, I want fully remote. So I'm going to select hybrid and in office, and I'll just select just remote. Okay, so this is fully remote. Okay, this was posted 3 hours ago. This is a medical analytics data engineer. Okay, the salary is between $117,000 to $196,000. All right. So this 3 hours ago, this is for Pfizer. The company is Pfizer. We're all familiar with Pfizer. In Stride, this was 2 days ago. This is 145,000. Medical, this is Pfizer. It seems like Pfizer is actually recruiting a lot of data engineers at the moment. Okay. Data engineer also with Dropbox 3 days ago. These are all remote opportunity, guys. Fully remote opportunities. Okay, for data engineers. So how flexible? This is just one of the platform. Okay, this is just one. All right. You also have the likes of Well Found, or let me just try Flex Jobs. Flex Jobs. Okay, Flex Jobs. So you see it here, Flex Job, best remote jobs. Let's take a look at it. Okay, best remote jobs. So you see, find genuine remote jobs at companies that get it. Okay, so we'll walk you through all this and more. How to get remote jobs in the US. You want to get a remote job, essentially, we'll walk you through ways that you could actually get this started. Okay. All right. I think the day is well spent. So the last thing I would like to say is, if you're looking to getting started, the discount is literally available there for you. For the first 20 people looking to getting started, you can secure your discounts now and balance before the end of the month. If you have any questions, you want to speak with me directly, please send us a message on WhatsApp or send an email to enquiries@10analytics.io. Thank you very much. The past couple of hours has been very engaging, very interesting. If you had a wonderful time today, I want you to say, yeah, yeah. I'm going to unmute everybody so you guys can unmute yourself. If you had a wonderful time, I want you to say, yeah, yeah. If you had a wonderful time, let's go.
Yeah.
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 You
Yeah,
choke,
yeah.
you choke, you choke.
You
Yeah,
choke.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. You street airflow. You street airflow.
You
Yeah,
see the airflow.
yeah.
All right, guys.
Eterna, you got this prize, though. No, they wine us.
Yeah, nobody's whining you. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I really I really enjoyed myself also. I enjoyed every aspect of the training
And
program.
hopefully, there's someone that came late. When can you help us to